The organizer of the Unfck America tour, her name is Z, joined alive with a panel of black women and had been incredibly microaggressive against them.
You can't even tell us the microaggressions that she supposedly caused.
We came to the conclusion that we will not be continuing under the organization of Z.
Your first event is riddled with so many controversies and you got rid of your organizer. Who's ever going to want to work with you again?
What we did definitely was wrong. We definitely should have addressed it earlier. That is something that needs to be taken accountability from.
It's like the accountability, virtue signaling.
The Unfck America tour, the movement, is going nowhere.
I'd love to see where this person Z is from a year from now versus where Dean is.
The reason I have my platform is because of...
You know why the other platform? Because you're a young, white, kind of attractive, non-threatening looking boy. That's why. And you're willing to put yourself through humiliation and concede when you're not even in the wrong for attention. That's why. All right, let's get it going. This looks interesting and I want to check it out. It's like impossible to find any meaningful backstory on this. From what I understand, Dean and Parker, not Hassan Parker, they decided to do like I think it's supposed to be a counter Charlie Kirk tour, the Unfck America tour. And then at some point they got called out because there wasn't enough people of color in it or something. So they added, I don't know. There's like, it seems like a big nothing burger, but let's watch. Dean will explain it apparently. So I'm curious. Let's check it out.
Kind of going over, and this relates to myself, this relates to Parker, and this relates to the organizer of the tour, Z. So first and foremost, I think it's worth kind of going over like why we're talking about this. So I say we start there. For those that don't know, because I'm going to go ahead and assume that there's a lot of people in this live that don't know. The organizer of the Unfck America tour, her name is Z, and I want to say...
What a weird name, Z.
Maybe 2 or 3 days before...
Is she a Zionist?
Before we inevitably went boots on the ground in Texas, Z had joined alive with a panel of black women and had been incredibly microaggressive against them.
Whoa. That's intense. What did she say? Like, what made her microaggressive against them?
This was then recorded and word got around, and in fact...
well, what was the microaggression? Because I was looking through the description and there's like, oh, here's when Z joins the conversation. And there's really nothing going on here. Like, she joins in and there's really nothing here that of meaningful value that I watched.
Before you go, make sure, no, Z, I want to hear from them. This is their campaign. This is their thing. I would love to hear from you, Z, but I was in the middle of speaking and I'm actually going to put myself back on big screen.
Yeah, I don't know what Z has to say.
Like me or anything.
Sorry, I think it's happening again where when we say these two white boys at the front, people's cognitive dissonance goes, I don't know what you're saying. Right?
I watched up to this point. I don't really know. Somebody comes in and says, I do a podcast with a black trans woman, and it seems like...
as a producer of the different experience that she has and the harm that she experiences when I create these episodes and even in the hate comments and everything that I do not experience because I am white, male, passing, presenting, etc., etc., etc. Blossom, my co-host, experiences extreme harm. So I think what I've heard so far on the panel...
I'm already fatigued.
And what I've kind of seen so much, and this is, I'm going to be as quick as possible, the Unfck tour to me feels really inauthentic. I think it started out as a great idea, maybe for 2 guys personally to do something, and then they might have received some backlash, and they're like, okay, let's last minute add some folks of color because now we got to diversify it. And that's kind of what it feels like to me. It feels not planned out. It feels like
you're wrong.
Even no, hold on. But before, just I'll give you plenty of time, and I'm sure there's a lot of information I don't.
All right, I don't care. Get her
taking away time. Their hand on
Shut up, guy.
And her story.
Shut up, white man.
And the conversation, and I'm sorry, like that to
all right, we got a lot of virtues.
me has not done.
I don't know if this is worth listening to. This is like a mess.
To actually have a conversation and explain or expand a little bit more on this.
We can have a short conversation. I just can't stay up here.
I believe this is Z.
Long, because I have to get waiting. But
gotcha.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I appreciate pushback in any respect. Obviously, I'm an organizer. I'm used to that. But the point I wanted to bring up to start with is that I think that having conversations where we say things like, this is so unorganized, which came out of multiple people's mouths, things like...
I'd be offended too if I was an event organizer and somebody said, this is so unorganized, even if it's true, you know what I mean?
That are directly harming the people of color that are behind this tour, that are working tirelessly to make this happen. And,
oh my God, it's like a virtue signal festival.
And I'm just telling you guys that because I know that
all black people to the front lines right now.
You don't know, okay? But the majority...
Shield me!
The majority of the people behind this tour that are staying up late, working on this, because this is not easy. You think that getting 50 plus people to another state to do this is easy? Because it's not, right? And so we have young people that are putting everything into this, that are scared of this administration, and then people are saying that they're unorganized.
There's no so as somebody who's done organizing within her own community, that's why I'm saying this.
So you're saying
wait, she has to be able to respond to one thing at a time. No, she has to be able to respond to one thing at a time.
Are you seriously saying right now, I want to remind you, room of black women in here, okay? Are you seriously saying that because other people of color are also working on this tour, that we cannot critique when things are done in bad faith?
That's not...
Kind of. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's your microaggression.
Not what I said.
I mean, listening to some of this live on my own, it kind of sounds like everybody's here and just like really leading the conversation with like black people, I guess. But like, yeah, that does like And for instance, there was that guy earlier, the white guy. It's like, I work with a black trans person, and they get put in harm, and it's a lot of emotion going on. But yeah, that sounds like it would be the microaggression right there, huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna get back to Dean's because this is exhausting to listen to. I don't even know what is. Okay.
I knew that she was on a panel and had gone to shit while it was happening, but it wasn't until the next day that I'd learned exactly what she had done.
So
and at that
do?
point, we were 2 days out from boots on the ground in Texas. And if we reflect on the last week, you all know that I ended up.
Did she say "you people"? I didn't hear her say "you people." I even looked it up in the transition. I thought she said "young people." I don't think she said "you people." I think that she said "young people." But okay.
Going to Texas, and I have not spoken about this on my live stream until now.
She said "you people" in regards to people in the live, not black people. I didn't even hear her say "you people." I heard her say "young people."
So my first order of business is apologizing to the individuals that are watching the stream that are a member of the BIPOC community for not speaking out about this sooner. Over the course of the last, I want to say 5 to 6 to 7 days since this, there's been a lot of
guys. Why can't
Stop.
Guys, why can't the left organize? Why can't... Imagine being some young person and you're like, hey, I want to do the right thing politically. And then you join a Dean Parker live where he's apologizing for his event organizer, saying "you people" in reference to the people that are overly criticizing how she had organized the event. And everybody's like, oh my God, you're being microaggressive towards black people. And then you're like, I think I'll just stick to edgy racist Instagram memes and Charlie Kirk talking about how consent isn't necessary or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is part of the pipeline to push people to the right, no? What's BIPOC? It's Black Indigenous people of color.
That have been going around in my head insofar as how I want to navigate through this and what I want to achieve and what I want the future to look like. But I think one really big mistake I've made, one really bad thing I've done, something I need to hold myself accountable for, was not calling this out before we went boots on the ground in Texas.
Okay.
And at the time, and my internal justification was that, well, I have fans.
It doesn't matter. I think that would be my justification. I mean, frankly, he probably should have just ignored it. He could have said is like, hey, listen, something crazy will happen. I talked to my event organizer. She's not front and center, not happy with it, but we're going to kind of push forward and move on. Across
the country that have already bought their plane tickets to go to Texas, and they're going to be there. And I want to make sure that I'm there for them. And in retrospect, I recognize that I did not handle the situation correctly, and that on its own was not valid. What I should have done in response, everybody's asking what has happened, so we'll go ahead and reiterate what happened, was that Z, the organizer of the pack, had been microaggressive to black women on a TikTok live.
What does that mean, microaggressive? What are the specific things that she said? Give us examples.
Racist microaggressions, yeah.
Yeah, and essentially, like, I was complacent with it. And insofar as the impact of my actions, because I still went on the trip.
Why can't you give us examples?
Right.
I hate that. It just...
And my justification at the time was, well, a lot of fans have already bought their tickets, so I want to make sure that I could be there for them. And
like, was she really being microaggressive, or are we just saying that she was being microaggressive because other people were saying she was being microaggressive and we don't want to appear insensitive?
At that time, it was requested that Z doesn't go live or doesn't make posts with her face on any of the accounts, so she's not personally benefiting off of any of the attention that the tour gets. Z is once again the organizer of the pack that went on this live. But I now recognize that I could have leveraged my influence and could basically said that either she holds herself accountable and we see genuine progress, or I'm not going to go. And the likely response would have from the pack would have been, damn, all right, she's either going to hold herself accountable or we're going to kick her off. We'd still love you to come with. And I didn't do that. And I apologize. I think it's really
stupid to kick your event organizer over undefined black microaggressions that you can't even explain to us or give us examples of. But okay.
Really important for everybody to hold themselves to a certain degree of accountability when they do something that they shouldn't have, especially people in the public spotlight, like myself, like Parker, etc. Especially fucking white men, right? So I seriously, I want to apologize for that. Now, since those events have transpired, and now of course I'm back in Colorado, for the last couple days, I've been determining how we want to navigate through this and what the next move is.
Okay.
And here's what we've come to the conclusion of. Today, me, Parker, Santana, and a bunch of other people that are going to be joining the live here shortly, we were able to get 30 creators, every single creator that went on the tour, on a call, and we came to the conclusion that we will not be continuing this tour under the organization of Z.
That's just,
so either Z steps down.
That's just so stupid. That's so stupid to do that. Over what? Because you can't even tell us the microaggressions that she supposedly caused. What are you going to kick her out for? This is insane. Does this not have like a negative impact on your tour? And don't you think that this is going to ostracize people who might want to join the community that, you know, aren't perfect? Microaggressions? Dude, you're literally just allowing people to cancel you. Like, you're giving people too much social power over you. This is just going to continue to snowball and escalate. You're going to generate a bigger and bigger audience of like virtue signaling little like kids that never really left the house during COVID and don't know what like true controversy or oppression is. And you're letting them dominate your sphere, and they're going to keep asking more and more and more of you. But okay.
From the position of being the organizer of the pack, supporting the tour.
Also, like, yeah, didn't you used to say the N-word? And like, I'm not sitting here like, oh, you're a bad guy for that. Make me too. I'm not proud of it. But like, so this person was being microaggressive in a way that you can't even define, or you refuse to like explain to us. But you can't be like, hey, listen, she made a mistake and she needs to check her privilege or something. But you used to go around and like say slurs, like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd think you'd want to be more charitable to her, considering the circumstances.
Or the tour leaves the pack. And this decision has been made, yes, because she was microaggressive against black women on that TikTok live, but also because she's just simply not an effective leader. And
why?
I believe
what makes her an ineffective leader?
What perpetuated the microaggressions on that TikTok live was just a lack of ability to hold herself accountable when she fucks up. And
what did she need to do?
We've now seen
what did she do, and what did she need to do that would make you happier?
Lack of an ability to hold herself accountable when she fucks up, not just projected on the black women on that live, but also onto many creators involved with the pack.
Wow. Is this what reparations looks like for black people? Just anytime they feel uncomfortable with something, we overvalidate it? Is that what it is? Jesus Christ. I feel like we could probably do better than the virtue signaling, you know?
We will no longer be working with her, essentially.
Oh, wow.
I'd also like to point out, there's another creator live on TikTok right now that is talking about all of this and holding a panel for criticism. First and foremost, all constructive criticism is always invited. Constructive criticism is what got me from being...
Who's the other creator, you guys think? Is it older millennial?
The boy I was 5 years ago to the man I am today. And it's really important. But this live is not a reaction or reactionary to this other creator's live.
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't believe that, but okay.
And I, as well as Parker, as well as all of the creators that we will have in this space, can attest to the fact that we have been figuring out how we want to move forward and what this live is going to look like since before this other creator went live.
Okay.
It just so happened that they aligned simultaneously.
Yeah, sure.
So anyways, Parker, if there's anything that you want to add on at this point, feel free.
Hassan Parker.
And I'll probably have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, something I definitely wanted to add on top is that like I'm happy that people can call me out, and I really want people to call me out, and I want people in my community and in Dean's community to feel more comfortable with calling us out when we do things that are wrong, because what we did definitely was wrong. We definitely should have addressed it earlier. That is something that needs to be taken accountability from, and I don't want our communities, right, to like just defend us in any circumstance, right? Even when it's obvious that we did something wrong. So
I love this. They tried to ignore it, which was probably the best idea, and then they didn't. So they're like, "Thank you for holding us accountable." It's like it's just like the virtue signaling of like the accountability virtue signaling. You know, it's the performance, the accountability performance. Thank you for. Okay, yeah, gotcha. You don't really believe that though, because you wish that this all went away. And again, it's stupid. So, but.
I want to make it clear that like it's important to take accountability. It's important to address things. I think that's a really important thing to do.
Okay.
And I definitely think it's something
virtue jerk fest
that we could have leveraged to get like addressed earlier. And I think that's what we should have done.
Yeah, Dean doesn't know what to do when he gets into a large controversy. I mean, that's the problem. He's probably never going to learn it.
Yeah, and I guess like being willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation.
He's kind of just going to end up being a meme. I just feel like he's not a dumb kid. It's just like he's going to end up memeing himself to death.
Situations and make a sacrifice to.
I tried to tune into his live the other day, and I turned it on, and almost immediately he's just sitting here doing like the most cringe debate shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, okay, this is just like off-putting.
Hold red lines against things such as racism.
Racism
is incredibly important. because what it demonstrates is it wants to consciously deconstruct, like systems of oppression in America today.
Like what?
And I didn't do that, and that was wrong, and I should have, and I apologize.
I apologize as well, and I definitely think that, like, again, everyone, we genuinely
The housing market is the biggest system of fucking oppression right now in healthcare. It's fucking crazy.
invite the criticism. We invite people critiquing us, and it's really important. We just want to say that we appreciate people calling us out and holding us accountable. I think it's really important. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off, Dean.
And then just to kind of reiterate for everybody new that's coming in, asking what had happened, I'm going to go and kind of reiterate like a couple of like the main key points. So, and then we're going to have a couple other people up on the panel, and then we're going to kind of shift the conversation of what's to come, right? So basically what happened, the organizer of the pack, their name is Z. Z, 2 or 3 days before we went boots on the ground in Texas, had gone on to a TikTok live and been microaggressive against black women in that space.
How many times are you going to re-explain it?
And I learned about this the day after it occurred. Of course, when she was on the live, I knew she was on a live, and I knew that it was bad. I didn't know exactly what had been said because I was at dinner with my grandparents. But when I did learn about this, I
dinner with your grandparents
movement before I went boots on the ground to basically leverage my position as a larger influence on this platform to either say, I'm not going to go unless we see a genuine sense of accountability, or she steps down.
It's ridiculous.
Because I rather thought to myself, I rather thought to myself that individuals have already bought their plane tickets to show up. Anyways, that was something wrong that I did. And now, to kind of reiterate what is to come, me, Parker, as well as every other creator that have went on the trip have now met. This was earlier today, and we've come to the unanimous decision that we will no longer be working with Z. The first order of business is requesting Z to step down as the organizer of the pack and invite a new organizer. To further the Unfck America tour, or we just completely leave the pack behind. To reiterate that it is a fact that she was microaggressive against black women in that space.
So why don't you explain that to us? It's so interesting. So far, Dean has been explaining for 10 minutes that their event organizer Z was microaggressive to black people in the live stream. And he has not explained what that means at all. It's a huge problem, right? Because it's one of two things. Either one, she wasn't actually microaggressive and you guys are just bowing down for whatever reason, which is going to be really off-putting to a lot of like new people. Or two, you just don't know how to explain it. How is this going to be an educational moment for people to counter these supposed microaggressions that Z engaged in? If you can't even explain it, how are we expected to believe that you're educated on different systems of oppression, but you can't even explain to us what happened? It doesn't really make any sense. Like that, you like just your lack of explaining it. Say something. Say like, "Hey, she did this." Why? Why won't you? Are you afraid of like pushback because you don't think it's actual microaggressions and you don't want people to feel like you're, I don't know, discounting it or something? Like, what is it? I don't get it.
That has led to this decision as well. It's the fact that we just simply do not think she's an effective leader.
What has she done to be an ineffective leader outside of this controversy?
Once again, just to reiterate, what I think led her to be microaggressive against those black women is an absolute lack of an ability to hold herself accountable, and she projects that on the people around her. And this was present in that live as well as in a personal.
How? What did she do?
And essentially, on top of being microaggressive to those black women, she's simply bad at her job.
How? How is she bad at her job? You're just saying things. What the fuck?
But let's kind of talk about what's to come, what the next steps are, and the overall goal of the tour. And for that, I think it's important that we kind of bring up a handful of people that were on the tour onto this live. So at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and get a handful of people up here.
Okay. Cool.
Are you going to do the grid?
So
I think you can do the thing where you can do like, I think it's 4, and then you are kind of like halfway big. So it still keeps you like relatively big. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see if we fill the boxes up with like the people that we spoke to that said they'd like to come up. It's just glitching out for me, and I'm having a hard time actually clicking on individuals. Welcome in, Santana.
Hello.
And then I'd also just like to reiterate one more time for everybody new coming in here that this live is not reactionary to.
I love this picture. This is beautiful. Hey guys, systemic racism, microaggressions bad, but check out my kitty cat face. It's like the most unserious platform I've ever seen.
To the other creator who's hosting a live about this right now. In fact. Oh, Erica,
you have echo.
You're back on the mic. And that this live is not reactionary to another creator who's on here talking about this all. In fact, we've been kind of planning this out, and we've been meeting about this space since before they started their live.
It seemed like she was just trying to stick up for her team of like 50 people that were trying to get this event going, and then she got labeled as some kind of microaggressor.
Give us one moment, everybody.
Too bad he didn't follow through to talk to me. Yeah, he asked me to, and then he never responded. So I really don't care personally, but like, I don't even know what he would have disagreed with me on. But
Welcome in, Pickle.
I don't think that like I imagine that Dean probably, I don't know. He has to chat with me. I'm assuming that I'm not somebody that he feels like he could easily dunk on, because I'm not going to have a cringe little debate with him, and I'm going to have like an actual conversation. And so that, or maybe I just don't have enough clout for him to feel like it's worth his time to talk to me. I don't know. Could be one of those two. I don't really care either way. I mean, we'll see where we're at in a year compared to him. Yeah, I've been around for 5 years, so based on this, I can't imagine what longevity looks like for Dean. But
and Mermaid. All right, welcome in, everybody. All right, phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, I feel like we have kind of gone over, you know, where we are going to be going from here, insofar as departing from Z, the main organizer of the tour. Which either means she steps down as the organizer of the pack backing the tour, and we find a new, better organizer, or we just simply digress from, you know, that specific pack. And yeah, we plan to hopefully be able to get other individuals up here from the tour as well, but we're just kind of starting.
So, like, you don't have your event organizer now. How does this look for the event? Isn't this his first event? Your first event is riddled with so many controversies, and you got rid of your organizer. Who's ever going to want to work with you again? This doesn't make any sense to me. This doesn't look good in any capacity.
Off with a conversation with Parker, Santana, Erica, Pickles, and Mermaid. So, I mean, if you guys
Pickles
can hop in here and kind of lead the conversation, I did see a text from you, Santana. Feel free to take it away.
All right, so I want to start, right? I know that we have people on the panel that will speak to multiple things, and I have something specific that I want to speak to.
Okay.
But I want to clarify something that Dean said. Dean mentioned that all of the creators that went on the tour was involved with the conversation. That's not accurate. There are specific people that were not included, but the actual people that were included in this helped come to the conclusion. And I'm not going to say why specific people were not added, but I just want to leave it at that. It was not every single creator that went on the tour. With that being said, I specifically want to speak to something.
It's just weird. There's like different phases of this fight that are unexplained, and he starts doing more strings, so I have to adjust better.
The thing that I want to speak to is two quick things. There's a lot of people who are asking the question, why haven't we addressed this before then? And
my question is, why haven't you addressed it still? You still haven't explained what microaggressions she's engaged in, so there's probably none.
So Dean specifically has spoken to his reasons why he didn't actually come out and say anything, or, you know, what the actual delay was.
What the flip?
I want to take a moment to just say that we were lied to.
Okay.
Period. We were lied to. We were specifically told by someone that we trusted to.
Dude, everything is everyone else's fault. Dude, hey guys, we got to take accountability. Everything's the event organizer's fault. She does microaggressions and she's bad at her job. But I won't explain.
Actually be truthful. And someone told us that the way to go about this was to hold comments because things were being worked on the back end.
Okay.
And that's not true.
That's probably the right way, is to like hold your comments on it until you get an organized response, instead of just trying to throw someone under the bus, leading to you never being able to find an event organizer in the future, because you guys are so like willing to throw people under the bus.
Someone specifically was manipulating the situation and actually trying to control the flow of information that was coming out, whether it be us speaking out individually or collectively, or any other messages being shared.
Dude, they're explaining like PR as like this malicious thing. Somebody was controlling the information. You mean like just regular PR? Like, hey, we should probably have a more like organized response to this fucking topic. That would make more sense. Oh, someone's trying to control the narrative here, guys. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So as a collective unit, we were going through conversations. We were going through back and forth as far as what do we want to say? How do we want to do? What do we want to address? And let me be very clear and very strong in what I say at this very moment. It's all good.
I appreciate that.
I want to be very clear and very straightforward at this moment. And I said this to Z herself.
Wow.
What she said on that.
I think this is Dean's token black guy for the conversation, to make it seem like there's credibility to what they're talking about.
Was racist. It was racist.
What'd she say that was racist? Let me hear it.
It was racist microaggressions.
What did she say? Just tell me what she said that was a racist microaggression, because microaggressions are things that are like so subtle that it's so difficult to understand. Educate your audience, Dean. What microaggressions did she engage in?
Was racist. She should not have said those things.
What things?
To anyone, but specifically those black women on the panel.
Wait, if it can be said to anybody, then how does it make it a microaggression? What?
Now, with that being said, I want to speak on the point of
what'd she say?
Like racism, right? And
what
even more so people who call themselves advocates. There are certain people who are saying that they are sticking up for the black community, sticking up for the marginalized community, sticking up for the black people.
I don't know, man. Based on what's happening here, I'm thinking that you guys just because you're black, it doesn't mean that you're oppressed. I mean, there is generally higher association, right? But if you guys are whinging about this unexplained event, to me it means that there's nothing going on, and you guys have never dealt with anything meaningful in your life that was difficult. I don't know, man.
People that went on this tour who didn't have representation or were getting less than or anything like that. There's certain people that have made videos talking about black people should have had this, or black creators should have got that, or black creators whatever. Specifically, people who have voiced their opinions and said that they're being advocates for black people while never speaking to the black people that they were advocating for.
Okay.
So as far as certain people who have continued to actually talk and say the black people that are on this tour, they're not getting this. The black people that are on this tour, they're not getting that, or they should have this, or this should happen.
Okay.
I want you all to know that those people did not come and speak to the black people involved in this tour.
Okay.
To be like more specific about what?
Oh, are you talking about the black people that were complaining on that live? They didn't actually go and talk to the black people on the tour? Wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. This is like an insane self-report to me. What? So you're telling me that the people that were on that live that were criticizing the event didn't even talk to any of the black people in the events, but you still think that this woman was engaging in microaggression? Because it sounds to me like you're criticizing them. So, like, are you saying that she was invalid in her, like, critique? I don't understand.
What Santanas saying. There's been other creators that have claimed things like some of the black creators who came along on the trip were not paid for in the sense of planes, of hotels, etc.
But they weren't paid for. You gotta be careful, bud. You're not supposed to pay for them.
Meanwhile, the white creators were. And essentially, like what you're saying is that's not true, right?
That is not true. It's not. And for anyone to, so I don't want to go into like the full detail of like timelines or what happened or when or whatever. I will say that there's more to all of this story. I don't want to hog all the time, but there's more to all of the actual story, the situation, how this actual timeline progressed. Something that I've shared with everyone on this panel, and I've even told Z. So I do a podcast with Jessica Simone. The podcast will be out tomorrow, and I will specifically be speaking on that podcast not only to the timeline.
Thank God he's plugging his. Hey guys, he's plugging his socials.
How everything came about, but also the back end stuff that people don't know about. And that's something that a lot of people don't have, is the understanding.
Nobody knows anything about any of this.
As far as everything that happened to get us to this point. But the thing that I want to focus on, and I'm going to leave it as far as my final point, two things. One, all of the creators wanted Z to come out and apologize and make a statement for being racist. Yes, every single one. There has not been
and what'd she do to be racist?
Instance where anyone has said that we did not want her to apologize. We all wanted accountability. We all wanted accountability. Two, for anyone who's saying that they're advocating for the black community, who's advocating for marginalized people and marginalized voices. Anyone that's been loud and proud and saying that I'm doing this for these black people that are going on the tour, they are lying to you.
Crazy.
They are lying to you because they did not talk to us. They have not been in communication with us. They have not engaged in good faith. And they are doing it for themselves. They are being performative. If they really cared about the black creators that were on this tour, one, they would have reached out to us. But two, they would not continue to do and say harmful things that would put us in jeopardy. That's all that I have to say.
What are they doing to put you in jeopardy? I don't understand.
Now, I know.
What is?
I guess I just add on there, like to be more specific. Like he did specifically say black women. So I mean, Erica and Mermaid, I would love to give the mic to you guys to be able to speak your mind and kind of share a little bit about how you feel.
I just want. Do I still have an echo?
You sound really low.
You don't have an echo. However, I don't think that your like mic is properly plugged in.
Let's move over to the mic. Okay, is that better?
She has a very smooth voice.
Try to like.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, I know. Okay, guys. Geez Louise. I just want to reiterate what Santana said is that from the beginning, I always requested that a statement be made. I do understand diplomacy and basically putting on a united front. So if I'm told that we're not going to speak about it, then we're not going to speak about it. So that's basically what it was. But I still think, even to this very second, that a statement should be put out apologizing to those women because what she said was wrong.
What did she say? Please just educate me on what this woman said that makes her such a horrible person that she needs to get fired.
Intentional or unintentional, it was wrong, and she needs to address it and take accountability. So that's my whole thought on that matter. Also,
okay, accountability for what? Sorry, it's just like
it
a
was a
little leg in
homophobic
the
ad,
live.
and it should have been pulled. I think it was pulled. I'm not sure.
It was what?
It was a homophobic ad, and it should have.
A homophobic ad? What ad? Okay, what ad are we talking about? What ad are we referring to now? Like a homophobic ad? What?
Been pulled. I think it was pulled. I'm not sure, but my community didn't like it. I expressed that to Z. And
what homophobic ad? What?
And she said that she would look into it, and then I didn't hear anything else about it. It didn't feel good, and I expressed this a lot that we just need to have a statement. Something needs to be said, and with people in the background acting in bad faith.
What is the homophobia? There's nothing about any type of homophobia, any type of racism anywhere. Nobody can explain the events.
Pretending to act in everyone's best interest, it didn't do us any favors. So I just want to say that I am sorry to my community. I truly am sorry to everyone. I want this to continue, but I agree with my peers here that I do not want Z to.
What ad are we talking about?
Be at the forefront of it. So that's it. That's all I have to say because I'm not going to cry.
And I just have two things I want to add on here. So first and foremost, like this apology isn't for you if you're white. I want to point that out. Like I just see a lot of people down there in the chat. Like this apology is for specifically like black individuals.
Wow, I'm sure that makes black people. We've cured the problem. We've cured systemic racism.
Black people. This is where black women. I'm sorry, love. I am sorry to black women. You look at my page. I support black women. All right.
Me too. Just on my private account.
That's what I do. I support black women first and foremost. All right. That's what I do. And to be put in this situation, no, it's just wrong. And trying to be diplomatic, it's a strength and it's a weakness. That's all I'm going to say. And I'll be quiet for the rest of the time.
And then also just one other thing is like I also see a lot of other people like really invalidating like the grievances and hurt of members on this panel. Please don't do that because like the grievances and hurt are legitimate.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I mean, genuinely, Erica hit it right on the head. This is for black women specifically because there were black women that were disrespected, and for anyone who is actively engaging in bad faith and down in the comments saying, you know, this is performative or whatever. Sorry, this isn't for you. This is specifically to the black women that were hurt and affected by everything that happened. That's the point. And our communities. Yes, we are sorry to our communities for having to actually deal with any and all of this.
There's no explanation for any of this. This is a fucking joke.
Yeah, and just by the way, I wanted to repeat the overall like thesis, because there's definitely a lot of new people that have come in here. That like the Unfuck America tour, the movement is going nowhere. We're just kind of renavigating how it's organized. So basically, like the request is, and as of today, and this was agreed upon by all 30 creators that went on the trip, we were able to successfully organize a large call, and we spoke for about 3 hours before I hopped on live here. Almost everyone, yeah, almost everybody.
Dude, this is why the right's is winning. This is why the right's winning, dude. These fucking kids can't get their shit together. Oh God, Z said a microaggression. Which one? Oh, don't ask me to explain.
Is that, you know, if we're going to continue this movement backed by the same pack, that means that Z steps down from any position in that pack. Z leaves the pack, or we just simply navigate away from the pack. That's all. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Does anybody else?
Great job, guys.
That's all I was about to say, Mermaid.
Great.
Yeah. So
keep it up. Great job.
There's definitely been a lot going on, but today's call was definitely needed to be able to figure out where to go from here. First off, I want to say I can speak for myself, so I don't need anyone speaking for me. When we saw what was like happening on that live,
Was she one of the people that was in the live?
I only got bits and pieces because I kept going into the group chat that we all have and telling Z that she needs to get down.
Wow.
Me and Erica both. And one thing that I'm going to
I'm assuming this is one of the creators.
Is the reason why America is in the position that they are in is because people don't listen to black women. And we said it over and over again and told her she was wrong. And within
what did you say? What was the explanation?
With having 30 different people all having an opinion, it got to be so much. But then also we had a mission to go to the school where we all knew that we had supporters that were coming out, that wanted to see us, that wanted to have a safe space that they did have during that time. So it was so hard to navigate if we let people down or if we help people out. And in that situation, everything was already paid for, everything was already set up. All of this happened at one time. So it was so hard to figure it out. But we did decide to go. And even then, there was still me and Erica and multiple other people that are up here that were saying that Z needs to make a public statement, and it didn't happen because there were other factors that were coming in within all of this. Regardless, what happened should not have happened. If we,
yeah, me, I agree. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
We are all fighting a fight, and an important fight. Things need to be addressed head on so that we don't have these big problems and things start to implode. And so for that, I can apologize. And I know that everybody up here feels the same way after having the very long conversation that we had. So for the people that we did let down, I do feel as though like I'm sorry because we're just trying. I know I can speak for myself and say that I'm just trying to help out, even though I'm not some big old person. And last thing, like I said before, and I really just want to reiterate this, when it comes down to, because I know it's been said that I paid for everything to go there. That's a lie. I know there's been a bunch of different lies, like I didn't feel safe. That's a lie. You don't have to speak for me. And regardless, even if it wasn't paid for, I still would have went because I agree with the movement, with the reason why we are going to these schools.
Is she a creator that was paid? I don't understand.
And by the end of that night, I saw that is why I went. So even if I had to pay out of pocket, I still would have done it because I love a country.
I guess it's a tax write-off too, no?
That does not love me, and I'm going to continue to fight for this country. That does not love me because I love this country and the people in it. I would pay my own money if I had to. Land my plane with that.
Can I just add on, Mermaid? Did anyone reach out to you about, you having to pay?
Not a single person. Not one person has asked me anything. People have just said what they feel about it, and it really is aggravating because I will speak out.
They're simultaneously talking about how sensationalized this has gotten while demanding that this Z person apologizes and retracts all her statements and disappears and blows herself up without explaining anything. That's a good point. Somebody said, I don't know what's happening because I'm palm colored. It's very true.
I will speak up. I will answer questions. I answer majority of my DMs. I'm not some big streamer or big person. I will talk to you, but no one spoke to me, but everyone spoke about me. And that's a problem to me.
Crazy.
Yeah. So people that are making videos or making comments or making posts saying that, Black people came in late and they're having to pay or whatever, that's not true. That's not true. Sorry.
So there's not much more that I'm going to say that Santana, Erica, and Mermaid didn't cover just now. Basically, I did want to speak for myself and also Hannah, because she said she was probably not going to be able to come on the panel. Basically, like Santana said, some of us were misled into believing that there was a consensus not to speak about this. And so that's why on Friday on my live, I didn't speak about it. That's why I can't remember what Hannah's live was. Maybe Thursday.
I mean, there probably was a consensus, and it would have been the smart consensus to shut the fuck up about this. This is such a nothing burger. Frankly, in their defense, this woman, Z, is an idiot for joining the live stream in the first place. Like, she just, I don't know, that's one big thing. The only criticism that I can confirm out of this entire situation is that Z never should have joined the panel of a bunch of random Black creators that were complaining about her event. Because, like, you opened yourself up to, like, weird criticism that didn't matter. People bitch and moan about everything all the time. All right? So that's the only big thing I'll say. But outside of that, there's been no display of microaggressions or anything else.
But that's why she didn't speak about it. And I just want that out there because I didn't know that this consensus didn't exist until this morning.
I feel like for like me as a white man, right? Here's my perspective. I don't really think like a consensus matters. I feel like it was wrong of me to not speak about this prior to the tour, specifically about the organizers. Once again, for all the people in the comment section saying what's going on, I'll reiterate.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't this the craziest thing? We watched the other day Charles Kirkland talking about how if a woman gets drunk and she withdraws consent, that there's a lot of gray area nuance. And Charlie's still touring and he's doing his thing, but Dean Withers, his event organizer, joins a live stream of people that are bitching and moaning about how she planned the event, said some stuff that are interpreted as microaggressions but aren't explained at all. And now we're having a 3-hour-long or 2-hour-long pity party to explain, guys, we're not that bad. We're not that bad. Blah, 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 blah. This is why people don't like people on the left. You guys are virtue signaling. Nobody gives a fuck about this. Nobody gives a fuck about any of this. Most of your own audience doesn't give a fuck about this. You're sitting here and you're just masturbating in front of everybody. Who fucking cares? What microaggressions did she say? You can't tell us? This is your first event and it's gone disastrous. You want to criticize Z for even joining the live in the first place, be my guest. But this is stupid. This is embarrassing for you. Not because of what happened. It's because of how you're reacting to it. This is pathetic.
The organizer of the tour went on a TikTok live like 2 or 3 days before we were boots on the ground in Texas and was being microaggressive to the Black women on the panel.
How?
Yeah, specifically before, like, once again, I'll just repeat this for all the new people coming in here. The reason why I still went on the tour, even after that occurred, was because individuals had already bought plane tickets to go to Texas from Oklahoma, from Chicago, from Florida, and at the time, I was like, you know what, I'm just still going to do it. But in retrospect, what I should have done, back then, I didn't do this. What I should have done is I should have,
oh my god,
used my position as a larger influencer to basically say, no, either you hold yourself accountable, you better out, or I don't go. And I didn't do that. And that's wrong, right? And that's what I said at the beginning of the stream, and that's what I'll say again. But insofar as like what the actionable steps were, once we got back from Texas, well, there was a couple things that we had to consider. One of the big, this is a big thing, and I want to make sure to bring this up, is the PAC fundraised $100,000 from the event. And a big part of navigation when we got back was I want to make sure that all of the creators are on the same page, right? So we could almost unionize and say, you guys have to either get a new organizer.
Was that a new superfood? Unionize.
Or the current organizer has to show real actionable steps towards accountability. And then days past, there was no real actionable steps towards accountability. So that's why we are all here today, because we've agreed that essentially this will not continue with PAC as it stands with the organizer Z. Either the organizer Z will step down, or we will digress from the PAC and find other means to continue the movement.
What do I do?
And that's basically what we're all here to talk about.
Yeah, and again, I just go ahead. If you'd like to.
I just want to finish what I was going to say, so you go ahead and I'll finish.
Absolutely. I just wanted to again say, like, everyone, like, please, right, listen to the people involved, listen to the people in the tour, listen to everyone on this panel right now. It's really important to do that. Also, like, hold us accountable. It's really important to hold people like Dean and I accountable. And there were a lot of people in the Discord, right, engaging in racist microaggressions towards Black women, like, within the context of our Discords. And we just want to say that we do not support that. We think that is horrible. And we want people within the Discords also to be able to hold themselves and us accountable.
Cool. Oh, there's a lag in the actual thing. Wow, incredible recording, guys. Beautiful.
About things that took place.
Okay. I asked AI Grok to explain the Dean Withers controversy to me with the Unfck America tour. Let's see the context. A few days before the tour's launch, a group of Black women were at a movie theater talking. Just kidding. They would never do that. Okay. What's wrong with me? Is that a microaggression? Wait, did I do the microaggression? Held a TikTok live stream to discuss the tour's representation. Noting that its public face, Dean and Parker, both white men, lacked diversity. They also questioned the tour's effectiveness in countering Kirk's audience. Wow, who gives a fuck? So then Z joins in, which she didn't need to because it's just a bunch of complaining. Z joined the live stream to address concerns, but was accused of microaggressions, including speaking condescendingly and talking over Black women. How is talking over Black women and speaking condescendingly a microaggression? Like, was she saying it because they were Black, or is she just an impatient person? Like maybe she's just fucking a bitch. But nope, apparently it's a microaggression. Some claim she referred to Dean and Parker as those white boys in a derogatory manner. Oh my god, palm-colored boys rise up. Instead of putting the fist up, like Black Lives Matter, the fist, very valid. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put our palms up, and we're gonna put our palms out. Relax, Elon. I'm just kidding. Look at my white boyness. Talk to the hand. Okay. Anyway. That's it. That's all we got. Perception. While some argued Z's actions were not overly racist, but rather microaggressive, others felt the accusations were exaggerated. Yeah, the others including me. This is it. This is all we got. This is stupid as fuck. This is dumb as dookie. I literally shit my pants over this. Whatever.
About things that took place. And one of the examples was what Mermaid just covered with
clipped. That would be probably is a good clip. Yeah.
The creators that are people of color not having to pay for their travels, while others don't. Pickles can also speak on that as well as a white creator.
What does it matter if people of color had to pay for their travels? I imagine that you're going to do it based on the size of the audience, no? Like size of the content creator.
Who did have to pay. And so there are a lot of other things like that. And I just want it clear that both of these things are true at the same time. What took place in that live was unacceptable.
Why?
And also there are bad faith actors taking advantage of the situation.
Wow.
That's all I need to say.
Yeah, to add on to that, there's this one guy that's been making videos about it, and in one of his videos he included like the claim that there was women of color on this trip that had to pay their own way, meanwhile white people didn't. That was the first time I heard that. So my immediate response was, okay, I'm gonna DM this guy, and I'm gonna ask him
why,
who specifically had to pay their own way, so I could personally,
so I could own him with facts and logic.
resolve the issue. And I mean, even when I DM'd him, I was like, please keep this private. You know, I don't want this to be shared publicly. I just want you personally
You're an idiot. Just for this guy that's obsessively complaining about your live, you're going to ask him not to expose what he said, what you're saying. That's smart play, Dean.
Maybe share this information with me so I could try to help resolve it, you know, behind the scenes and take care of that, just because I definitely think that would be really wrong and bad. And then he DMs me back and he basically says, nope, I'm not going to tell you. You don't get a no. And yeah. So that was really concerning.
And
wow, what an unexpected response. Who would have thought he would do that? Who would have thought that? I would have thought that he would have responded. Whoa.
My point about when people say that they're actually advocating for certain people when they don't actually do the work, but yet they want to get the attention. That's what we're talking about.
Crazy.
So they had the opportunity to reach out to the Black creators. They had the opportunity to answer Dean's question. They had the opportunity to actually put action behind the words, and they didn't do that. And one other quick thing that I want to touch on before I pass it over to Pickle is to Dan's point. I want to be very, very clear, because Dan said the reason why he didn't speak on certain things is because, he was told specifically that he shouldn't. And, the message that a lot of creators were given was follow the direction of the Black creators, right? They were told, follow the direction of the Black creators. And someone specifically weaponized that message and told everyone else that the message should not be communicated, that there should be no apology pushed out, that people should put it on ice and not talk about it.
That's a great idea. You should have followed that advice.
And we should not address those things, while at the same time telling the Black creators, I have your best interest at heart, and I'm going to take care of this. Trust me, believe me, I got it. So what actually happened was certain white creators or non-Black creators were being told, hey, I'm working with the Black creators, and this is what they want you to do. While at the same time telling the Black creators, we just need to all chill out, and I'm going to take care of it.
Okay.
So when Dan says individually he was told not to actually air things out or talk about this, that's true. But that's because someone was lying to all of us and actually going around and trying to manipulate a situation. Pickles.
Yeah, I think everything's been pretty well explained so far. I also do want to pound on the fact that we are not doing this in reaction to other creators making videos or making lives about this. We're doing this on our own volition. We've had a 4-hour meeting today about this. All of us did this on volition. We do care about this a lot. And, it wasn't only just one thing or two things. It was an amalgamation of things. And our genuine concern over whether or not this pack was taking good care of us or doing this event in the best way that they could, and we had our own criticisms of it. But yes, as far as I know, I'm the only creator I know of that paid out of pocket for anything. There could be more. But
what is he? He's not Black? Is it because he's not a really big creator? Are we throwing around the word creator a little too liberally here?
Paid over $1,000 coming. I was very ecstatic to come.
Are we throwing around the hard R a little too liberally? Creator? Are you guys really creators?
And I think it was an overall success for even someone like me who paid all the way out of pocket to come. That's all I have.
I just wanted to add on there because the timing is incredibly suspicious because we started this live.
The timing is really sussy.
The platform started their own live. Yeah, I mean every single person on this panel, as well as every other creator on the trip, could definitely attest to the fact that we'd been in a Google Meet talking about what had happened, what the next actionable steps are for hours before we're live here and before another creator started their own live. But hey, I also
can I just say this real quick? And I'm sorry. So I got permission from Erica to share this.
Thank God.
This is the.
I was actually going to ask him if he got permission from Erica.
Signal chat message that I sent out to everyone, but specifically this is what I sent to Erica.
Yeah.
Basically saying, hey, we need to meet. I sent it at 9:47 a.m. Pacific, saying that, hey, we need to meet at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and trying to get everybody organized and on the same page. So for anyone thinking that this is reactionary, no, we have been talking, not only have we been in communication about everything for the last couple of days, but specifically when it comes to what we're doing right now, this started at 9-something this morning.
Wow.
As far as deciding how we were going to go about doing this, what we wanted to talk about, how this live was going to look.
That's awesome. So Dean has stressed about 5 times now that there's another creator that's on right now talking about this, but we're not on. In reaction to them, we're on. We always planned this. And then this guy's like, hey, we've been talking about this since 9 a.m. this morning. Oh, it sounds like that. That sounds like this is absolutely a reaction to that. Wow, incredible honesty, Dean. Thank you, Dean.
So, no, we're not reacting to anyone who is live or making videos or whatever.
And there's also just like a couple smaller things that I'd like to talk about, like specifically about the NDAs, because they were talking about the NDAs. So this morning, every creator on the trip got sent an NDA by the organizer. And then I went into a larger group chat with all the creators, and I told people not to sign the NDA. And then I got a phone call where I got like yelled at and all this.
What's the NDA over? I don't understand. And why not sign the NDA?
Stuff, because apparently I made a very bad decision by telling.
I'm assuming the NDA was over this. It was over this controversy. That's really nothing.
People not to sign the NDA. So yeah, that did happen. That did happen, and that was so fucking. That was insane. I'm still in disbelief.
And just to correct, the NDA went out last night at around 10 p.m. That was when we got the NDAs. Some people were asleep, some people were not, but I don't think anyone up here signed. I'm pretty sure a majority of us know to seek legal counsel beforehand, but that it did go out later on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I still defend my position of telling people not to sign that. And I was perplexed.
Whoa, what a good guy, dude. He told people not to sign the NDA. He's a good guy.
By like the reaction that I was met with by the organizers. You know, I got called and they were like really mad at me for telling people not to sign it. But yeah, it was very questionable. Especially
Dean, you realize that this is going to make it impossible for you to have like any meaningful tours moving forward, right? Like you're terrible. You're literally like you're absolute like you're legitimately like fucking destroying your career in real time right now.
A couple subsections of the document in of itself, and I defend that.
I'd love to see where this person Z is from a year from now versus where Dean is a year from now, because I could see her still being successful. Like all she really has to do is kind of move forward, stay quiet for a while, and do behind the scenes work.
And then also one other thing, two other things is I just want to reiterate the same sentiment that, you know, the conversation about like myself holding myself accountable, an apology, this is only for Black individuals. I want to reiterate that once again, as well as I do see some, some misogyny as well as anti-Black racism in the chat. And that is unacceptable.
Just so you guys know, this is why Hassan doesn't apologize for his horrible comments about Ukraine. Because apparently you're better off saying horrific things and not apologizing than doing nothing wrong and still apologizing. Agreed?
In this space, the grievances are valid and they shouldn't be invalidated. And I think that's really important. Now, Simple Black Player, would you like to add a handful of things on?
Yeah, just a few things. So I want people to understand that there were two situations that happened simultaneously. Yeah. The first situation was the criticism about the Unfck America tour and the protection of Black people. Then the second situation is how Z entered a panel full of Black women and was hostile towards these Black women.
That's it? She was hostile? Hostile? That was it? Is there anything else other than like hostilities? Is like there's anything a little more meaningful than that? Or are we just like hostile? Because I feel like you got to give me more than like, oh, she was being a little hostile. Okay.
What we need to understand is that the Black creators that was a part of this tour spoke with each other and tried to understand what's the next move. Our goal was to make sure that this situation will never happen again and to make sure that we can have a stronger...
Apparently you're not allowed to be hostile towards Black people. That is racist. You have to treat them like they're different than people, and you have to always go, okay. So listen, bro, I'm an asshole towards like everybody. I try not to be, but like it is what it is. Like if your whole thing is that she was being hostile towards Black people, okay. What the fuck does that mean? Nothing. Like, did she say something specific that would make it actually racist, or was it that she was just talking over of Black people? Because not for nothing, I've been in panel conversations before when it's like 1v10, you have to talk over people. I don't know if you guys know that. Isn't that crazy?
A stronger unified front when it comes to the next step for the Unfck America tour. So to see people coming here and try to belittle a few of the individuals that was on the tour, such as Mermaid and Erica, bashing them as Black women, or even me calling me a mediocre, or even Chris calling Chris and I mediocre Black men, or even saying that we were DEI hires. These were the things that was being said to the people that claimed that they were protecting. So I asked you, real question, no idea who the fuck you guys are. Are you a DEI hire? Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole because I think DEI is a good thing overall. But like in this instance, if you're a bunch of small Black creators being like, do you exist because why do you think you exist around Dean? To make him look like he cares about Black people. So maybe you are, and you should question that and maybe be upset with that. Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe like, is there like, are you a large creator that like would warrant, this type of publicity if it wasn't... I don't know. I don't know who the fuck any of these people are except for Dean and Parker. So maybe you are. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, is there any other reasons? Is there any other reasons why? I don't know.
Okay.
How is that protection? How is that protecting individuals if those same individuals are being attacked by those same individuals? And that's what we have to understand. I spoke with some of these people that actually started this situation, and I asked them, have you spoke with the black individuals that you're protecting? And they said no. So I'm curious, do you care about us more than we care about us? And that's a scary situation that I've noticed. And I'm just shaking in the situation because people are literally questioning the black creators' blackness at some point, as if these individuals understand what we went through more than us. And that's what I wanted to say. Like we have to understand.
Dean invited them to, but that makes them DEI hires. I didn't say it makes them DEI hires. I'm saying like, what is their size as black creators? Like maybe they kind of are. I don't know. Like if there's nothing really of value there, they're small creators that don't really matter outside of their skin color. Then like, maybe I don't know. Something to keep. I mean, I don't know, dude. Sorry, don't try to be an asshole, but like, what other, it's not like this fucking FD signifier here with like an illustrious career. I don't, like what what I mean? But maybe they're fucking content creators. I don't know shit about dick. I don't know.
Understand the situation at hand, and it's bigger than this. No one's sitting here saying what Z did was right, but at the same point, we were told not to say anything. We were also told that the situation was going to get fixed. A lot of us was questioning even staying here, and we came together and spoke about this. But instead of the people who had this criticism coming to talk to us about this, they decided, hey, let's go on live and let's talk about it without inviting these individuals, without letting them hear them out. And when they did hear us out, we were attacked. That's the beginning of all of this. Erica was attacked, Mermaid was attacked, Chris was attacked, I was attacked, Santana was attacked, Dad, Pickles, everyone, Dean, Parker, we were all attacked simultaneously without us even defending anything. And that's the last thing I want to say about all this.
One thing that I want to kind of mention and call out, because again, I want to be very clear. There's a difference between bad faith actors and people who had genuine concerns. And there were some people who had genuine concerns, right? And the one thing that I want people to understand is that every black person that decided to join this tour and to go to Texas A&M understood what we were doing. We absolutely understood that
I still don't personally, but okay.
We were not welcome.
Not the right button.
In College Station. We understood that we were going there and we were putting ourselves at risk. So for anyone to say that...
Wait, what were you putting yourself at risk of? What the hell are they talking about? What were they putting themselves at risk of? Is that like going to Texas? What's the risk?
That the proper things aren't being done, or the proper steps weren't being taken, or, you're not caring or thinking about the black people that are going. To Theory's point, like, we care about ourselves, and we were fully aware, and we made sure that we were going to be protected. So there was some
from what? I'm a little confused. What is it that they're afraid of?
Misconceptions or even lies about the access to security or whatever the case may be, protection while we were there. We were assured that security was going to be in place, that we were going to have private areas that we had access to. And we did just that, whether it was private areas in our hotel, whether it was private places to eat dinner, whether it's police officers on campus with us.
I thought you guys were afraid of police. So fucking confused.
All those things happened, and we knew what was happening. So having those concerns about black people, thank you. Yes. But also spreading misinformation and lies about what is happening or what didn't happen, that's not beneficial. It was harmful, and it continues to be harmful.
Okay.
And I just want to also say that those
got sundown towns over there. Were they on a sundown? I feel maybe. I feel like this is an exaggeration. There's probably no real danger. But,
the bad faith actors that Santana had spoken about here, I think I genuinely saw through said targets put on the backs of the black creators on this tour, and it just. When everything came out and I saw I'm boiling with rage, and I want to say that on behalf of them, because genuinely they received messages because of misinformation that was coming out.
Okay, cool.
I just want to say this. If anyone just wants the actual proof of what happens, if anyone in the chat can, just put that YouTube video of what happened between everybody that was part of that live and with Z. Not only are you going to see Z become microaggressive against these black women, but you're also going to see other outcomes of what's happening.
You're saying the 5-hour-long live stream? Do you want me to watch a 5-hour-long live stream to see it? Why don't you just fucking explain yourself? Like, you're doing everything but explaining the actual, like, what's actually going on. Just explain. It's not a big deal. You could just explain to yourself. You're a big boy. You guys are big boys. You can explain yourselves. You could be like, oh, this is what happened. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Would love to hear it. I'm open to it, but you guys apparently aren't. That's incredible.
And you also get a bigger story.
Listen. Here's what I want to say. I think that like good faith, critical dialogue and.
It makes absolutely no sense. You'll see it for yourself if you go watch it. Okay, well, if it's a microaggression and I'm not socially educated, how do I know what I'm looking for? Hey guys, what's the number one thing that we need to do in America? We need to educate people on the Black experience and different ways of how racism can be very invasive and microaggressions. Okay. Well, what happened in this Unfck America tour? The event organizer was engaging in microaggressions. Oh, what are they? Like, what are the microaggressions? Like, what should I look for when I'm interacting with people? You'll have to go watch it yourself. Okay, but like, you're supposed to be educating me on what a microaggression is. This is a perfect opportunity, but you can't. You guys have been talking for an hour and you can't explain what the microaggression is? Oh, okay. So what's the point of you guys talking if you can't explain like the problems here? Maybe there needs to be a better representation than Dean and I don't know, friends. If you guys aren't capable of like, explaining this to us, maybe there needs to be somebody else. I don't know. Like, what's the microaggression? You know, educate me, senpai. What's going on here?
And criticism is not only a good thing, but it's necessary. It is so incredibly necessary. If I didn't have a conscious attitude where I'm wanting to be accepting of like real criticism from good faith actors, you know, I would not be the man I am today. I mean, over the course of the last couple of years,
you're like 19. You're a baby. What are you talking about?
You know, I've heard constructive criticism on so many things, and I've genuinely tried to stay conscious about it, and it has helped me become a better person. And I think that does apply now,
that's
right?
crazy.
And we spent some time talking about some like the bad faith actors involved, but I want to talk about the good faith actors involved. And I think that there has been like legitimate criticism.
Liam Neeson.
And, you know, we've kind of already covered a little bit of that. I know that I have like when I, for instance, started opening up, and just know that like I take it seriously. That's
crazy,
and I always have, and I always will.
Proud of you, bud.
At least I'll always try to. I guess that's what I should. I guess that's what I should say. Now, if did anybody else on the panel want to add anything in here?
Yeah, Erica has something.
Erica?
I think my mic is like pretty staticky. I think you guys can hear it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's really not good.
I just want.
Sounds like a DEI mic. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Hold on one
guys, I'm just educating you guys on microaggressions right now. Okay.
moment.
Yeah. While Erica fixes her mic, I'll make one more quick point, and that is, we as creators hold ourselves to a very high level, very high standard, and the reason why we're doing this right now is because
really? Is this actually this creator? This guy has 200 followers. Oh no, sorry, 7,000. He's following 200. This is. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm really not trying to be like this elitist dude. But like, what is a creator anymore? Like, I thought it was somebody that actually was able to make money doing their creations. 7,000 followers, average of 500 views a vid. That's crazy. Is this maybe this isn't their account? What other account is there? We're creators, guys. Okay.
Because it was important for us, once we found out the things that were happening, to actually put it out there. Now, again, the statements that, and I'm going to be clear, the statements that Z made was racist.
Wow.
It was.
What was
we
it?
also
What'd she
all
say?
agree that she needs to apologize and take accountability.
What'd she say?
With that being said, we all also
What'd she
understood
say,
that we were told that this was being taken care of, and
What'd she say?
we were being lied to at the same time.
Wow.
And as soon as we found this information out over the last 24 hours, we have been sharing this information with each other. We organized, we got on a call that lasted for hours, and then we immediately shifted from that call.
It sounds like you guys don't have any jobs if you were able to sit in that call for hours.
To this live so we can share this information with you. So that's why we're here today, talking about what happened with the Unfck America tour, what happened with the National Ground Game, what we would like to see happen, and how we would like for this to move forward. Because every single person here is committed to continuing to do the right thing.
If I keep listening to this, I might get committed to an insane asylum.
And we want to continue to do the right thing, but we cannot do the right thing with the wrong people.
Whoa,
Erica.
That's deep, dude. Thanks.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Erica, can you just please say exactly what that guy said 4 times already? I really need that input because I feel like that's all we're going to get.
Fantastic. Okay. My main thing is that to go off of what Bro said earlier about the criticism. Constructive criticism was okay. Initially, when this was announced, like the person who initially brought this to the forefront and had the criticism, I was proud of them. I told them that I was proud of them.
Beautiful.
And then when I saw that they were adding more people on to the tour, right, because it was just the beginning, they were adding people on. I said I wanted to be a part of that. All right. And because this is important work that is being done. I know y'all think that we're just creators, but we are people that have a passion for learning. People.
You guys are creators? I can't find them. I don't know who the fuck they are. I can't even find them when I look it up. Is this what? I think this is her. She looks very similar to this girl here. That's not a microaggression. Stop. 24,000. I don't. I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm being too elitist about what an actual creator is or something. I don't know.
Who have a passion for educating.
These are people with phones. You know? Like, these are mostly people with phones. It's like, oh, Google.
Want to share this information with the masses and young people ages 18 to 25. That is a demographic that Donald Trump turned the most. All right, with this information.
Why do you think that is? You think maybe it's because you guys are sitting here having a performative conversation about the Unfck America tour? Yeah, this woman did microaggressions. Well, can you explain it? You're going to have to go look for yourself. But aren't you supposed to be educating us on microaggressions? No response. Hey, us. Hey, that's perfect. Thank you for the education on what a microaggression is and how it can manifest. How am I going to avoid microaggressions if you won't tell me how she did a microaggression and telling me that I should go watch it? If I don't know what microaggressions are, how the fuck am I supposed to identify? This makes no sense. And I'm going to tell you, she probably didn't do any microaggressions. She was talking over 10 people that she was talking to. It was like a 1-on-10 panel, and she was talking over people because she wanted to get a word in edgewise, and she was being rude. Oh my god! Obviously, if you're ever rude to a black person, that means that you're racist. You can't just be rude to them. You can't just. It's not. Black people apparently aren't just regular people that you can be rude to. They're actually magical, majestic creatures. So I don't know. That's the insinuation here. 24K is good. I love you. It's not for TikTok. 24K on TikTok is like having 2 followers on YouTube. It's nothing.
And misinformation. All right, I have made it known since day one. When it was confirmed that I would be a part of this, day one in my Discord, that I wanted to talk to college students. That's what I wanted to do. All right, and I feel like ever since I was proud of that person for going up there, and I just feel like leading up to it.
Oh, she's a mommy. Cool.
Up to it, it's just.
Oh, I wrote that.
It's been a constant. It's been missteps. It's been a lot of missteps. All right, that's what it is.
What about Mr. Steps? I've never made that joke before, ever. Is that funny? Is that a funny joke, guys?
A lot of missteps, and having to remain silent about it. That was the wrong move. And again, all I can do is apologize to the loves, the goons, and all I can do is apologize.
And the what? Did she say the bad word I got to censor?
Apologize to the communities that have supported me. Anyone that I have let down, I am sorry. I spent, Friday, it became so darn much that I could not get out of bed. Drama so physically makes me ill.
I'll tell you then, this is not the career for you, girly pop. If drama makes you physically ill, I recommend not getting into political drama, because that is exactly what Dean Withers is. And by the way, do you, brother? I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that is exactly what this is. The majority of political shit is political drama. Donald Trump has created a political drama atmosphere. So, yeah. Bad thing to talk about.
And I don't know if that's too transparent at this point. I don't care. All right, but it is what it is.
Ugly ass chicken.
It just literally it is.
You saw that dog with chicken legs?
That's what it is. So people can believe what they want to believe. Unless you've had a conversation with me 1-on-1, then you cannot speak for me. You do not know what it is that I'm thinking.
Oh, well, that's kind of a failure for you then as a creator, isn't it? You have to speak to you 1-on-1 to understand what you're thinking. Oh, that's exhausting. Why can't you just communicate your shit?
Right. Stop projecting what it is that you feel onto me, because that's not what this is. All right. And if you want to have a conversation about this, come have a conversation about it with me in good faith. Do not come with the intention of a gotcha or you're angry or anything of that nature. Come.
Don't do what Dean does.
Having a conversation in good faith. That's all I'm asking for. That's it.
You got it, boss.
I don't have, bruh.
And I second that as well. Honestly, if you ever need to have a conversation with me, my besties, anybody, please come to me. I'm open to conversations that are held in good faith.
Me too. I love good faith. I love God. God is good. Let's see.
And I think that constructive criticism. Excuse me. I think that constructive criticism is always needed, and always accepted. That's just it.
All right, this is Mermaid.
Yeah, I mean, the next actual.
She looks like the Little Mermaid character from the one that's black. She looks nice, I guess, but 30,000 followers. There's no YouTube. I just don't take TikTokers seriously enough, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like you guys are okay.
Tool steps once again. Yeah, I mean, hopefully either. So, I mean, the first order of business is hoping that Zila resigned from the position of being the organizer of the tour. For the reasons that we've gone over.
Why does she have to resign? I don't. Okay, we're just saying the same thing.
Top of the fact that she's just not an effective organizer. I think.
Why? What makes her an ineffective organizer? Explain that to me. Because if she actually is an effective organizer, and you guys are just saying that she isn't as a bullshit excuse to get rid of her, the other event organizers are going to look at that and go oh, the second there's controversy, they're going to belittle our ability to do our job, make it seem like we're bad at our job, and that could have a negative impact on our, us. That's what it comes off as. Like, do you have any actual criticism here? I don't understand.
Led Z to the microaggressions that she demonstrated on that live against the black women was like specifically her lack of an ability to take accountability for anything, and just to simply project.
It's a microaggression to not be able to take accountability for things. What?
The people around her, and I've kind of seen that attitude present in many other circumstances. I mean, since we've been back from Texas, nearly anytime any conflict has arisen, that's what's been present. So
ever since the conflict that was like really stressful for her career, she's been aggressive. Whoa, wow, that's so like that's not normal.
Hopefully she'll step down and we'll be able to reorganize with a better
Jesus Christ,
with a better organizer.
I don't even know who this Zoe person is, but just by watching this, it makes me like her. Just by association.
Doesn't happen, then we will just simply remove ourselves from working with the pack. And I'm really happy that
it sounds like they have a contract and they're just trying to break the contract somehow. So
essentially all the creators involved were able to come together on that. So there's a little bit more leverage in the sense of like a unionized group of creators. You know what I mean?
No.
Hopefully the movement continues and we're able to continue to advocate for real, actionable change in the world around us. And in order to do that, we won't be able to continue. Absolutely, 110%. So I mean, hey, is there anything else that anybody on the live would like to add on?
Yeah. What's a microaggression? What are the microaggressions that we're engaged in?
Yeah, I do want to kind of
explain the microaggressions.
Circle back around to two quick things. One, I don't know, Dean, if you are looking to move off of this, but I know there's a couple of other creators who joined the actual tour who wanted to speak. So I don't know if you still have more time for that. I think that the creators that actually are part of this that want to speak should be able to speak. I know there's a desire for some reason for other people to have people that weren't involved with this tour to speak. I have no desire for that because the people that were directly involved are the people that have been dealing with this. So specifically like Erica and Mermaid and Becca. I know Becca is in the chat right now. The black women that specifically were involved in this tour. I want to personally say sorry and also let you know that it's not on you to say sorry, right? I mean, the way that the black women specifically were actually targeted, I'm sorry.
How were they targeted? What does that mean that they were targeted?
I'm sorry. So that's the point that I want to make because not only were you guys targeted in multiple ways as far as like
how
the racism and the microaggression that was put towards the black women that were on that panel. And you guys caught that as well. But you two specifically, you three specifically have been getting harassed in multiple ways.
I wonder if it feels really good doing this like moral masturbation. I wonder if it feels like so good for them to sit here and be like, there was racism, there was microaggressions, they're not even being held to task and explaining it. Like nobody's like, oh, that's crazy. What does that look like? No, we're just making claims. Zero, don't have to explain it. You could just say, hey, like, we're victims with no explanation. Like that's got to feel so good to be somebody that has an excuse to be victimized in your life. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying black people don't have it tough. I understand that it's generally going to be tougher. You know what I mean? I understand that from a palm-colored individual. All right, I understand a little bit, right? I can never fully understand. But there's been no explanation of these microaggressions, and they're just telling us that this is a microaggression, and there's no explanation, there's no education, which is what you really should call it, right? Because that's what you should be doing, is trying to educate people like me that have no idea what we're talking about, right? Doesn't exist. We're just kind of saying there's a racism, and it happened, and that's it. And like we're not getting an explanation, and it must feel good to be like, I'm a victim, and then just kind of roll on about your day without actually having to explain yourself. That's what it's coming off to me, man.
Since all of this has happened, and it's
like it makes me happy to be white just because I don't have any excuse for when people treat me like shit other than I'm fat and white and bald. You know, which by the way is a really good reason to treat me like shit, okay? Especially being bald. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's got to be like a crutch to be able to say, boil down like a lot of your problems to like, hey, this, like something like this, even if you can't actually, you know, prove it.
It's unacceptable.
I am a bleach demon.
Yeah, how about this?
Yeah.
I say that we probably get like one or two other people up here that were also on the tour to be able to speak their mind. But then afterwards, I'll probably spend some time, after we're able to have a panel discussion where everybody is able to speak their mind. I'll probably just spend a minute, talking to the chat, and then I'll probably end for the day. But
cycle me or your other.
Whoa, Dean, you have to elevate all these black people.
I was gonna say, I'll create space as well.
Yeah, I'll step down to give someone a shot too.
I'm a palm-colored bleach demon.
Hey, Simple Black Theory, thank you so much for joining us up on the panel today. And additionally, you fucking cooked Charlie Kirk. That was awesome, man.
Appreciate that.
Crazy. You cooked them.
Thank you guys. I'll see you later.
Do we need more space? I don't want to like.
I'm hopping down too. Thanks for having me
up. Any space?
Yeah, Parker's trying to get out of here. He's like, do we need any more space? Does anybody else need some space? Should I get out of here? Parker. I mean, whatever your name is. Hassan Parker. We know what you're doing. You bleach demon.
See ya, Pickles.
Know what you're doing.
All right. Look at that. Now I got a lot of space. Let's see.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
And if y'all need me to, I just have like one final thing to say, but I'll stay up if there is space.
Yeah. Hey, how about this? So I want Johnny to be able to have a chance to speak. Dan, if you have one final thing to say, go for it.
Me?
And then Parker, Erica, or Mermaid, if you guys want to chime in, feel free. And then after that, I'll probably just talk to the chat for a minute.
Were there any other creators that wanted to join up?
I don't really have by chance in the guest request.
I do see Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down. I need to decompress.
Yeah, no worries, Erica. Erica, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you so much for being here.
Of course. Have a great day. Thank you.
Decompress from what?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey Chris.
Was Becca also?
Did she say anything?
Okay. All right. I think
Becca.
I think yeah. Were you gonna have everyone speak real quick, Dean?
Yeah, I see Xander's in there.
Who's Xander? Xander Hall?
And if Becca, if you're in the queue, let me know. We'll get you up here. But take it away, guys.
Becca.
Okay. Well,
are you in the queue,
so first,
Becca?
I want to preface this by saying to Mermaid,
they invited a gay guy,
my bestie. I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to offer an.
Dude, you always got these gay white men that are trying to attach themselves to black women. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right, wokies? Am I right, guys? I'm so woke. I'm so woke. Check this out. You know why I'm so woke? I had a cup of coffee.
Absolute sincere apology in front of 7,000 people because I don't think the one-on-one apology is more than enough. Mermaid has been relatively newer to the community, and we've known each other long before she started debating and having these conversations.
Wow.
We've gotten immensely close. And about a week before the tour,
Are these all the people that like jumped on the TikTok live debate party and then like kind of crashed off because it got old fast?
Had unfolded, we spoke about how Mermaid can, get more in the game, be more involved, use her voice more.
Why are you speaking over Mermaid? What the fuck?
And I walked through our communities attempting to avoid any drama or avoid any...
you walk through the drama communities, avoiding drama? That's crazy.
Issues to ensure that we're keeping things productive. That doesn't always serve me well. But in this case, and specifically, I really took Mermaid, and I feel personally responsible because the entire time I was trying to create like a enjoyable safe space. And I feel as though I did the opposite here because we spoke about the stress and the situation it's caused and the time it's consumed. And it doesn't seem as though it unfolded to be exactly as it had been originally envisioned. And so I wanted to take a moment to first off say, I am so sorry, Mermaid. Like this was your first event, your first event like this. And I feel really personally responsible for the fact that it could have been so much better. And I know you had a good...
This guy is really obnoxious and the biggest red flag I've ever seen in my life. Ladies, run away. This guy's weird. I don't like him. This is incredibly performative. He's sitting here like, I'm sorry, Mermaid, for this bad thing. It's my fault. It's not his fault. He doesn't think they really do with it. He's a meaningless creator that probably doesn't matter. But he wants to have those good boy points. I'm taking accountability. Guys, I'm taking accountability. I'm a good boy. Got gay iDubbbz over here. It's incredible.
Good time, but like it was still a really stressful event.
That's so stressful.
So I wanted to say I'm sorry, first off.
Wow, thanks, man.
The second part I wanted to mention here is that we are in these communities online, in part representing various demographics, backgrounds,
I'm
beliefs.
thinking you're really just representing one. That's just like annoying kids with no real lives. I don't think anybody of any particular value follows you, but I don't know.
And values.
Based on this is insane virtue signaling.
And it's important to be caught up in the fact that while we are online, we are also people. And the language and the rhetoric and the verbiage that I've heard, where folks are
use some more buzzwords. I like it.
Speaking on behalf of Mermaid or on behalf
use the word microaggression
of Erica or on behalf of Simple Black Theory or Santana is deeply disgraceful.
That's cool.
If you want to use that rhetoric, you come at me. Come at me. Stop going to Mermaid.
This guy is so fucking annoying. He's trying to human shield himself for the criticism going at some creator nobody knows about. That is performative 101 right here, dude.
Stop talking.
How does it feel? Let me ask you a question. How does it feel to be talked to like this by this white creator? Oh, he's Hispanic. He's white. Hispanic people are white. How does it feel as a black person? How does it feel to have a condescending white creator come in and explain to you how he's actually your first line of defense and he's going to shield you from criticism? How does that feel for you guys? Does that feel good? Does it feel good to have somebody like this that is desperately trying to attach himself to your blackness, not your name, not who you are, not what's going on with you, just your blackness, and use it as a tool to try to generate combo points, brownie points for the rest of the world, other white people that think that they're a good boy? Because that's what's happening here. That is what this is. That's what white people do sometimes on the internet. They'll latch themselves onto a black person's blackness, not because they value the word of that person, but because they are black, and then they like to virtue signal about like how good of a person they are, so that other white people will engage with it. This is the new era of white savior movies, And by the way, white savior movies can be fun. But you know what a white savior movie is? It's a movie where it's a white guy as a protagonist, and it's during the old racism times, and he's not that racist, and it's like, wow, clap for this guy. That's what they're trying to recreate in their own lives. It's fucking crazy. So
talking poorly about Mermaid, knock it off.
Knock it off.
Seriously,
stop it right now.
You have no right
Stop
to treat human beings in a way that diminishes their value. You have folks who have stepped off the sidelines and gotten into the game and are attempting to perpetuate good and do good work. And folks aren't always going to get right, and we're going to learn from that.
Wow. How are we going to learn from it if you guys can't explain it to us?
But some of the language I've seen being used about somebody who has, again, immensely, who is a friend of mine, but who's also just an immensely good person like Mermaid, please stop. Stop being performative with the bullying, the harassment.
Wow, you're being performative. I feel like this is some kind of bullying, no?
Don't do that. Knock it off. You want to have a conversation? Let's have that conversation. Please stop mocking people. Please stop belittling people. Please stop speaking for people.
Only mock this guy. I agree.
Please stop bullying people. Knock it off. Okay?
Knock it off, guys.
Just
stop
say
it.
Those two things out there.
She doesn't want to talk to you. This is like that VR clip where the guy hits on the girl, and then she's like, "Leave me alone," and then he won't leave her alone. So the guy goes, "Hey, leave her alone." It's like fucking VR game. What are you gonna do about it?
All right, Xander, Dan, Mermaid, Parker.
Xander, yeah. Mermaid, would you like to give any comments on that virtue signaling?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, honestly,
Mermaid, as a small creator that just got hard virtue signaled on by a white creator, how do you feel about the fact that you probably don't feel like you can push back and say, "Hey, that felt really condescending"? How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? Because if you do, it could have a potential negative impact on your career. How do you feel about that? And then all the white people that like follow you just because like they want to feel good about themselves will be like, "Oh, I got to stay away from this person." What do we do? What do we do about that? How do we feel about that?
Honestly, that I just feel like in general, it's just so important that I just really appreciate that Black people have been like in this life, that Black people have been speaking primarily on this life, because it's like,
oh, isn't this the guy that like hates Ethan Klein? It's like a weirdo, I think.
I just also want to express my apologies, honestly, because like my audience has been DMing me about this a lot. And again, I thought that things were being taken care of behind the scenes. They were not as much as I thought that they were. And because it's like, I've been a creator for 5 years. I've been in a lot of situations, and so many people have seen me constantly sticking up for marginalized people. I mean, that is quite literally who I am. I'm a storyteller. I am always speaking up on other people's behalves. And so I feel like my audience, especially in this particular situation, they were wondering where I was. And it's just simply like, I thought that things were being handled. They weren't. I was being led to believe. And even though I was feeling very growingly frustrated, like I was barely able to post like 3 news videos yesterday when I'm usually posting like 7 or 8. So it's just this has been affecting me pretty significantly. And I'm just glad that honestly we are able to do this. I'm glad that we are able to just speak up.
Only 3 news videos. Whoa. Guys, this is the whitest Black person I've ever seen in my life.
About this. And I'm honestly so glad overall that even though that this has been terrible, that this has happened, at least it's not stopping us from still getting back to the core of what we wanted to do, going out and fighting against a lot of this right-wing rhetoric that's just being spewed to college campuses everywhere.
Guys, we're fighting back against right-wing rhetoric by being fucking cringe. Yeah. Take that, right-wingers. Take that, motherfuckers. You're fucking cringe, dude.
I hope that
we're the cringe. We're being more cringe than right-wingers. We're beating them at something. Okay? Listen, I see people melting down saying there's fucking MAGA losers melting down because some asshole said 8647, which means get rid of 47. Get him out of office. You know what 86 means. 86 to pickles, please. That's less cringe than what you guys are doing right now on Fuck America Tour, Dean Parker, guys. Okay? Do something cool. Do something fun. That you're sitting here fucking jacking yourselves off morally. My time to shine. I can't wait for an unnecessary controversy to arise so I can virtue signal over it.
Very end of the day, that message keeps intact, and that whatever which way that we're able to move, that we're still able to push towards that goal. And honestly, Mermaid as well, I hate how you've been treated. I hate all of just all the fire that's been thrown in your direction so unjustly. You have honestly been so amazing, and I'm so glad I got to know you. And I'm so proud, honestly, of all the people who have honestly dug in the trenches, especially today, to just try to weed out what was going wrong and to see how we can try to rectify and pivot towards how to still make this thing work. And that's really all I wanted to say. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Xander. Dan, Mermaid Parker?
Yeah, I'd like to give Mermaid the last word, so I'm just going to be very brief. It's come to my attention that the lie that black creators had to pay their way and white creators didn't is continuing to be propagated. I want it to be clear for anyone watching.
Who cares? Like, who's actually saying that, and who gives a fuck about what's being said?
If you hear that coming from a place of authority, that person is operating in bad faith. And
Whoa! What does that mean?
Coming in here new because the live's been going on for a while now. I just wanted to point that out, and that's all I got to say.
I think I'll just give the floor to
Thanks,
Mermaid.
man.
Yeah, I think a lot of good things were definitely said. I think a lot of I think today was needed. Definitely. I all I can hope is that things get rectified the way that we want them to, collectively as a group, so that we can continue on doing this, because the bigger thing that I think we're focusing a lot on the negatives, but the positives were so immensely just great in every which way. I got so many messages afterwards. So many people felt heard and felt seen. I was able to speak up for women and for women's rights in a large capacity and be heard and have my voice heard. So that definitely is very important in these times. And so I do hope that this can continue on in a better way and in really, really good faith, because it's an important mission. It's an important message. It's important to counter.
What's the mission that's important? What's the message that's important, though?
All of the misinformation that's being put out there. And also I hope that this gave clarity to all of our supporters and people that watch us and people that appreciate us. I hope that this gave clarity to that, and to everybody that feels any type of way. I hope that we were able to help that, or at least ease that just a little bit, because I know there are a lot of emotions, and I don't really want people to just sit in their emotions when we can come to a common ground. Like I said, I am open to having conversations if they're in good faith, and I do hope that we are able to continue this with like a set amount of people who really have the passion and the want and the thrill to do this, to make a difference, because that's all I really want to do, is just make a positive difference in this country. And that's about it. Thank you guys for letting me speak, let me voice my opinions, and thank you guys for the
They should be thanking you. Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry.
call, and for being able to hold this space so that we were able to have these conversations. I think this is exactly what a lot of people needed.
Nice. I'm wearing a Star Wars hat, by the way.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Mermaid,
Thanks,
as
Mermaid.
well as Xander
Appreciate
and
that,
everybody.
girly-
Just thank you guys so
girly
much for
pop.
joining up. And yeah, I guess at this point, we'll go ahead and end the panel discussion with the individuals that were on the trip. But there's a couple other things. There's more to this that I want to talk about. But I
They're
really
torturing a black woman on the goddamn screen during this whole conversation about microaggressions. Guys, is this a microaggression? What's about to happen? Are they if they're torturing her? Is it racist because she's black, or do they have to say the N-word before they torture her? I don't know how racism or microaggressions work. Dean, please educate me. Watch the video. It's 5 hours long.
appreciate you guys so much for joining.
Of course, thank you so much.
Everybody, bye. Also, my birthday is tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Yay! Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Dean and Santana worked effortlessly today to make sure.
Bye, Dean and Santana. Bye.
That this live took place. So huge shout out to Dean and Santana.
Oh, sorry. See you, Dan.
No, you're good.
Fuck off, Dan. I don't even know who you are.
All right, everybody watching.
Nice.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Here is the deal.
Here's the deal.
The reason I have my platform is because
you're annoying. Because you know why the other platform? Because you're a young, white, conventionally kind of attractive, non-threatening looking boy that's on the left. That's why. And you're willing to put yourself through humiliation and concede when you're not even in the wrong for attention. That's why. And you also love debating idiots and set them up for performative dunks so you can look good on the other end. So
transparent conversation with people that disagree.
Love transparency, by the way.
I feel like
support transparency.
Be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't let Sam up. So I say, let's go and get Sam up on the live. Sam, I'd like to talk to you because at the end of the day, I do genuinely want to try. Here's the way I think. I do genuinely want to try to be the best possible version of myself.
Wow.
And that has genuinely always been something that I've tried to do.
Beautiful.
Especially
stormtroopers
with the position I've been in for the last couple of years. I find it very important, and I feel like it is an imperative. It's imperative to
look at these guys
responsible for the bad things they do. The more power and societal
the big frog is
control they possess, I recognize I possess quite a bit. So I think it's very important to have a conversation with you, Sam. My intentions is to recognize and understand where I've personally went wrong,
No, leave my frog
and to move forward in a better direction. So Sam, if you'd like to take the mic, please feel free.
Sure. 1, I'm outside. I'm going to try going somewhere quieter. 2, I'm angry. So if I stutter, that's fine.
I'm so angry too,
now,
dude.
this isn't just you. But for the last week, directly after Z said the racist bullshit that she said to those people.
I know, it was crazy when she was like, hey, I'm gonna say the N-word. What the fuck did she say that was racist?
I immediately negativity. And like he wanted to focus on the people that might lose their Medicaid and their food assistance, as if I'm not actively affected by Medicaid and food assistance.
What?
So first of all, Johnny, if you're listening to this, you betrayed the fuck out of me and black people.
Whoa.
If you call yourself an advocate, me
All black people? That's crazy.
and Ray are owed an apology. Number fucking 1. Number 2, moving forward, the day that man came up on your live to tell you about what Z did, I sent both you and Parker links to the live stream where Z said what she said. And I also posted when Johnny shut me and Ray down.
Whoa.
And posted the live link YouTube video in my Discord with timestamps. And after that, the day before yesterday, when Dan did a 7-hour live about Alina, Jaden and me told him in the comment section that Z was racist. And Dan went out of his way to say that he didn't want to talk about that out loud. And he wanted to talk about that off camera.
Wow.
Now, as far as any other
What's the issue with that? What's the issue with wanting to talk about things off camera? Is it like, what's the problem here? I don't understand.
thing that happened,
You guys
I
just
can't
fall
say anything
off?
about that. But what I will say is, when me and Ray and other creators have been talking about this for over a week, trying to tell you all, especially to your faces sometimes, what she did, and you treated us like we were fucking crazy, that felt awful.
Oh, that's so sad for you, girly pop.
So you know what? I can't tell you what you knew. I'm not in your brain.
I can.
I can tell you what I knew.
But what I'm going to say is, when we try and tell multiple people who were part of this tour what happened, and you shut us down, that was disrespectful as fuck and also racist.
I was so racist. Can you explain the racism? No.
That's what I wanted to say.
Can I tell you a little bit about like what I knew and when I knew it? And then also I just
Dean's taking his lashes right now, dude. It's fucking crazy.
I want to thank you for coming up here and sharing your thoughts. I listen. Like at the end of the day, even if it's like not for my personal self-interested advantage, I will always think that transparent and clear conversation is a good thing. And
thank you, Dean. Thank you so much. Hey guys, even if it's not good for me, I'm always gonna say being transparent is pretty good stuff because I just hold myself to a high caliber. Guys, I'm a good fucking person. Frick. I'm a good person, dude. Did you know I'm a good person? How many times has he told us how good of a person he was in this video? Honest to fucking God. It's constantly. He's constantly telling us about accountability and blah, 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 blah. Also their horse shit. Over and over and over again. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
And fuck, I'll stand 10 toes down in that. I'll stand 10 toes down.
Whoa, he's Hassan Parkering right now. He'll stand 10 toes down, dude. Bro, you keep this shit up, you're gonna end up having to show your toes just to fucking make money anymore, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
Matt. All right, so Sam, here's what I have to say. You asked me when I knew about this. I knew about this the day after it happened, and I listened to a clip of Z on the live, giving microaggressions against black women, and that's
giving microaggressions against them. Wow.
Fact, and that was before I left on the trip to Texas,
Whoa.
and that's also a fact.
Wow.
The reason why I still decided to go on the trip to Texas, and my thought processes after listening to the clip of Z being perpetuating racist microaggressions to the black women in that space were as follows. First and foremost, I heard about multiple fans that had bought plane tickets to go into Texas, so I felt as if I owed it to them to ensure that I was there. Nice. Second of all, I at that moment began attempting to pressure Z into at least acknowledging what she did was wrong, acknowledging that she needs to hold herself accountable. So hopefully she can deconstruct her racist microaggressions, regardless if they were intentional or unintentional. The impact was clear. Okay.
Okay. So you think that they actually might be unintentional? What's the impact? You guys, people complaining?
In retrospect, I think that was a bad thing. I think I did something wrong. I think I fucked up. Sam. I do. I think I fucked up because I feel like in order to be willing to go the extra mile, you have to be willing to break the status quo. And I feel like in that circumstance, I didn't break the status quo. I went with the status quo. And what I should have done instead is I should have leveraged the fact that I have a large platform to either say that she needs to hold herself accountable or
Dude, how am I not
need
grabbing
to
that ledge?
leave the tour.
Seems sucks.
And I didn't do that, and that was wrong. And I realized that, and I think that moving forward, I need to do better, Sam.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Thanks for the script, Parker. Sorry, Dean. Thanks for the script, buddy.
While I appreciate the transparency, I have to ask, because this was my main contention, if you have this knowledge, why didn't you tell anyone else?
I did. So, I mean, like, the first thing I did when I heard about this was I went to Parker, also talked to Santana, and I feel like my immediate response was to specifically talk to the BIPOC creators that were on the trip.
How the fuck am I doing
have
in
discussions with members of the BIPOC community insofar as what is the response, right? Like, what is the response? So, but are you specifically asking why I didn't tell anybody else, like, speak about it on live?
Yes.
I think, like, the reason why I didn't speak about it on live at the time was because I was scared.
I was scared just because they were told not to, because it was a stupid controversy that didn't fucking matter and it would have went away, but they didn't listen to that. So now here we are. Fucking jerking ourselves off, playing fucking moral masturbation.
And once again, that was another example of me going with the status quo.
Whoa, the status quo.
Essentially, like, the impact of
silence is violence, Dean.
My action, regardless of you know, like, my intent or all else.
Yeah.
I was so regardless of all else was wrong. You know,
so true.
I think I also was very anxious, and
anxious.
I didn't know how to navigate the fact that now this PAC that had raised money from supporters and gotten, like, I think now $100,000 following the event.
That's crazy. Wait,
was that? I was very anxious, and I think how I should have acted is how I previously described, and I should have done significantly better, and I just want to recognize that.
Okay. Question number 2. A friend of mine brings this up. Excellent question. Do you disavow Johnny for shutting me and Ray down when we were trying to bring up the racism to him?
Yeah, and I hope that he addresses it.
Okay, good. Also, to anyone wondering what I'm talking about, go into my only public saved on my account. It's going to take you to a bunch of saved videos from an account called Soul Ties something, but there's a person who posted all of this stuff on there. You can go there, you can go on my Discord and search the word racism, it'll probably come up. But
whoa,
anyway,
racism!
Okay, and I suppose my last question is, when it comes to the other creators, because I know you can't answer for them, is anyone going to, like, talk about how they just ignored the fuck out of us and, like, treated us like we had no proof and had no basis for what we were saying?
So I'm unaware of, like, certain dynamics between you and other creators, but I think that it should be addressed. I like, even though, like, I'm unaware of, like, the specific dynamics, and this is, like, my first time, like, hearing about it, I think it should be addressed the same way I'm addressing it now. And the reason why I'm having this conversation with you, the reason why I'm trying to do my best to be honest and to hold myself accountable is because this is what I say other people should do every single day. And I'd be a hypocrite. I'd be a fucking hypocrite if I didn't apply it to myself. And so, yeah, in other words, yeah, I do think it should be addressed. I do think it should be talked about, because if it's not addressed and if it's not talked about, then all of a sudden it'll happen again. People think it's okay, right? And I don't think it's okay to ignore legitimate concerns and good faith critique, especially as it applies to Black women in America today, as Black women in America today are one of the most marginalized groups of people in this country.
So true, King.
Okay. Another question, because I'm looking in the comments. If Johnny is here, with the utmost respect, could you please add him? Because I would love to know what he has to say about this.
Johnny Somali?
Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and add Johnny, and that's fine by me if he does happen to be here. And he is here. I would like it to be known that, in this circumstance, Johnny's speaking for himself.
Hello.
Hey,
First off, before I speak, I want to hear from
you.
you.
A little bit of a jump scare there.
And then I kind of want to explain what I knew at the time. But first, I want to hear from you because
scare.
I'm learning a lot more as I'm going along here.
Learning so
and I want to
much.
make sure
We're literally on a learning overload right now. I've learned I've learned that the word microaggression exists. I'm learning a lot.
I'm not disrespecting anyway, and I mean that sincerely.
Me too.
So tell me what unfolded, and then I'll try to fill in any gaps with what I knew.
Butterfly
please take the floor.
Well, first of all, frankly, as far as disrespect, it's a little bit too late for that. But anyway, do you recall about a week ago when I and Ray came up on Mermaid's Live? We introduced ourselves, we complimented Mermaid, and then I tried to tell you about what happened on that live, where, by the way, if you don't know, her full name, the racist in question, is Z. Cohen Sanchez, if anyone was wondering. That's her name. Again, Z. Cohen Sanchez.
Whoa! We really gotta, hey guys, time to incite violence against Z. Sanchez. 86 Z. Cohen Sanchez. Ugh.
She has an account on here with like 60K. Do with that information what you will. We came up and we tried to tell you that she was racist. And as we tried to tell you that, you cut me off in the middle of my sentence, ironically with the phrase, "I don't mean to cut you off." And you said, "We're not trying to keep..."
Yeah, but you sound like you were probably just talking too much. And so he's just like, "Hey, I gotta get a word in edgewise because you don't shut the fuck up." All right. Now, that's not a microaggression because you actually talk way too much and you are saying absolutely nothing. You're outraged over nothing. It's actually super boring and performative. So
things negative right now. we're trying to focus on the people who will be affected by Medicaid and food assistance.
Whoa.
We're not.
Guys, we're really trying to focus on the people who are going to be negatively impacted by Medicaid and food assistance being lost to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a meltdown over fucking microaggressions. It makes perfect sense. Oh, wait a minute. They don't give a fuck about people that are going to lose their Medicaid. They're virtue signaling. Oh, they're centering themselves in a conversation that's about poor people who aren't going to be able to afford health insurance because of the potential cuts with this big, beautiful new bill. Oh, fuck, dude. Actual oppressed people who are poor, because I would say that the poorer you are, the more likely that you were born into oppression, because usually it's generational poverty. Those people, fuck them. Let's center ourselves in the conversation, and let's talk about a microaggression. What was a microaggression? I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Wait a minute. I can't explain it. Go watch the video yourself. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? I've been paused for like 10 minutes. Isn't that crazy? Thank you for the $10. Oh, thank you for the $10 from Future Nightmare Games. Fun fact, when someone was getting canceled under false pretenses, Dean said, even though it's not true, I'm not going to change what I say because it'll hurt my career. That's fucking crazy. Is that big if true? Big if true?
Both Medicaid recipients and food assistance recipients, and as if that somehow trumps the fact that racism actively happened. So that was pretty fucked up, actually. What's that about?
What's that about? I want to point out that you know that I tend to attempt to stay out of situations regarding streamers or quote unquote drama, which that's not what this is.
Not at all.
Right. At that time, I didn't know that.
This is drama.
I didn't know about the situation.
This is like pure drama.
And so when I saw you folks come up, knowing that we were in the midst of a conversation in regards to food assistance and knowing that the situation probably was going to be about other streamers, I immediately had the response of, well, let's keep it on this. I shouldn't have done that, because if I didn't do that, you would have told me about the racism right from the get-go, which would have stopped me from bringing Mermaid further into the situation, because my goal was never to create an unsafe environment for her. I wanted her to have a really good time, which is why I really fought to get her there.
That's so nice of you. I gotta piss.
So I want to make that evident. One, I should have let you speak on it. I didn't, because I wanted to focus on Medicaid and food assistance. That was wrong of me.
That's wrong. It's wrong of you to focus on real problems. Actually, you needed to make a black person feel better about themselves for no actual reason, because they just want to be selfish. Not black people, just this one. I guess. I don't know, because none of this matters. This is being stupid as fuck.
And then two, I want to say I sincerely apologize about that, and I mean that genuinely, because as I started to kind of get an understanding of what was going on, I should have called you, and I should have said, hey, let's talk about this. In part, I decided not to, and I decided just to cut myself out of the equation altogether, because I saw that you had a live stream with a couple other streamers, and I know that you folks were really unhappy with me, and I felt as though if I stepped up and showed my face, that would only inflame more division between folks during the midst of this event in Texas, and I didn't want to make the situation about myself in any way, shape, or form. So I kind of just cut myself out of it altogether, which again was definitely not the right way to go about it, because that created more of an issue and a lack of transparency, which is my fault.
Sam, how the hell did you get a flag? Dude, TikTok
It's okay to me. I don't know.
Are you okay with remaining up here on this account, or do you want to switch accounts? So
My other account's banned too. They don't like black people, which seems to be an ongoing theme. But anyway.
Okay. Gotta continue the victimhood. I sound like a real conservative.
What's it called? Do you want me to drop for now, or
No. I want you to stay up here for as long as you want. And I mean, even after you're done talking to Johnny. As soon as you're done talking to Johnny, as soon as you're done talking, sorry, I'm
You're good.
As soon as you're done talking to Johnny, I'd like to maybe have a little bit of a further conversation with you. But go ahead, guys.
Okay. Ray's texting me right now. Ray told me she sent you the live in question.
Mm-hmm. I got more information afterwards, and as I learned this information, I should have connected with you too. I decided not to. And I also spoke to Ray, and I explained that you and Ray and anybody else who felt a certain way about the situation has the right to express their feelings and their thoughts and their concerns, and that it's my job to listen, and I spoke about that. My goal overall is to attempt to do some good here. That's my mission. My belief is that we're put on this planet to uplift one another and others, which is why I attempt to cut myself out of these situations.
That's crazy.
But I think, again, that doesn't always serve me well, and this is a prime example of how it didn't. I should have connected with you. I should have let you speak on the matter. And I shouldn't have been so focused on, well, let's talk about these issues. Let's talk about Medicaid. Let's talk about Medicare. When this was critically important, and it would have helped me, and especially Mermaid, in the long run. Because again, if I knew this was happening at that time beforehand, and I really understood the entire extent of what was happening, I probably would have just said, Mermaid, Johnny, we're not going to do this. Let's take a step back. But I didn't do that. I was also well aware that a lot of us were going with the intent on meeting young voters. And so a lot of folks weren't connecting behind the scenes on this information, just in part because we were so focused on, well, here's what we're going to create there. Here's what videos we're going to make here. Who's here? This is what we're going to talk to and who we're going to talk with. And we had conversations about who we're going to debate and what kind of issues we want to talk about. My issue I wanted to talk about was food assistance. So we spent more time on that. And I think that, again, this is an example of why trying to cut myself out of an equation doesn't serve me well. It didn't here.
Okay. I have to ask, because I feel like a lot of the time people just think racism is saying slurs and stereotyping, but
That is certainly racism.
do you acknowledge that when a person of color says the word racism and they're immediately cut off, that that's racist?
No, that's an idiot thing to think. You're an idiot if you think that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. No. Here. You guys want to hear a hot take? Just because you're black doesn't mean that you are the arbiter of everything. If you say something that's dumb, if you say something is racist and I disagree with you, doesn't mean that you're instantly right because you're black. It's dumb. That's stupid. And if you want me to treat you as such, then you're asking me to treat you as less than a person. That's dumb. You're being stupid.
Okay.
I also,
you surround yourself with people who believe that or pretend to believe that.
So want to make clear here, my intent was never to cut you off in the manner to stop you from speaking on this issue. It was that I didn't know what...
Like, it's so funny because you listen to all these white people talk. They don't care about this girl. They just want to say, they're just yesing everything to death because they want her to calm down. That's it. They're not treating you like a person. They're not talking to you. They're yesing you because they don't feel like it matters if they yes you to death. They don't care. They only care about their career. They don't care about being honest.
What the issue was, and so I wanted to talk about the issue that was already being discussed at hand. I shouldn't have done that. I should have given you the opportunity to speak more on the subject, and I am sincerely sorry for that, and I hope you know I mean that. This is a good learning opportunity for me, in the sense that, one, instead of trying to cut myself out of an equation,
we're learning.
I shouldn't do that again.
We're learning.
And two, I need to ensure that to properly offer transparency, because overall this situation, like across the board with the tour, lacked it. I need to be doing my part. That part,
I'm bettering myself. I'm learning.
Especially in that moment, was to let you speak. I didn't do that.
Okay. All right. Well,
where the fuck are you, in a goddamn wind tunnel?
that aside, whether or not I accept that apology, I don't know. I doubt that we're ever going to speak again. So.
Sure. Well, I want to add here. I think it's all
probably
so critically important that communicating on this going forward is at the forefront of the actions we're taking.
Is this Erica or is it Erica? Because there's so much air. Because there's so much air everywhere. Right? That funny?
Because a lot of this could have been avoided through communication. When that situation unfolded, the first messages I'd received were from Ray. And Ray had explained that you both were expressing your beliefs and your emotions over the situation. But I really wish we had a one-on-one discussion. I think it's important to just express that we could really communicate in a transparent way to offer more, I suppose... Well, I guess to ensure that there's not an argument or a fight. Again, because my mission here is to do good. I just don't want to be creating stress for anybody else. I think there were a lot of live streams that have been held about other people. I know, for example, you were on a live stream with Julie and a live stream with Tashika and a live stream with Ray. And I've heard a lot of the things that have been said about me and a lot of accusations said about me and a lot of rhetoric said about me. And I'm trying to take a step back, not to step into that in order to, one, keep myself away from any issues because, again, I'm just trying to do some good here. And two, I think that all of that really could just be avoided if we continue conversing through proper dialogues and conversations and one-on-one in a transparent manner. And I mean that sincerely.
This guy's getting upset because he's getting roasted by black people, dude. That's the funniest shit in the world. What are you talking about?
Okay. I think a one-on-one conversation would have been great. I completely agree. But Julie said that she texted you twice.
Oh, fuck, not Julie.
And Ray said that she texted you. And then the last person to speak in that text conversation is her.
Julie.
Mm-hmm. Ray and I had a conversation back and forth in regards to that situation. As far as Julie, I've not spoken to Julie in well over weeks before that. There was information that did I just freeze? Never mind. There was information that I had received. And again, I tried to take a step back. And again, I mean this so sincerely and genuinely. I heard information. To everybody tuning in, please know I mean this sincerely. I heard rhetoric that was spoken by Julie that I don't support. And so I chose to, again, take a step back from any drama because I attempt to not put myself first in those situations.
This whole situation is drama.
And my goal here is just to deliver some good. If I'm doing that, then I'm doing my mission.
Dude, go
I
up.
took a step back and decided
piece of shit.
No longer to speak to her. This is a really... This is like not the one-on-one conversation I was looking for. It feels like, I don't know. This is, again, like I'm not trying to sound like a victim. That's not what... I feel like I'm putting myself first again. This is what I wanted to avoid.
God, you're exhausting.
Avoid.
I think we're past the one-on-one conversation realistically. To be frank,
That's a boy's name.
I have very few like absolute no's when it comes to friendship. My boundaries are bigotry and lying to me.
Whoa.
And you tap danced on the first one.
True, because she's claiming you're being bigoted, but you're agreeing with her. This makes you a liar.
So I don't want to have a one-on-one conversation. And if it were to be a one-on-one conversation, it would have to be recorded.
She's got a lot of power here.
I understand that, and I'm happy to have that conversation. However, we can move forward in a way that is doing the most good for others, as I think the most productive way is to ensure we're working together as we have one shared mission. We do all come from different backgrounds and different stances and values, and we're all learning on this in a manner that, while yes, we're online, and there's expectations as online digital personalities or influencers, we're also people who have the shared mission of doing some good for the community around us. Whether that's investing in, as said, Medicare food assistance, or ensuring that we're fighting for a woman's right to choose, that's where our focus ought to be.
If I was a woman, I would use my right to choose to leave this fucking conversation.
And that's what we ought to want to deliver on. If that's, being impeded on by matters like this, then we should work in a way to resolve them. That's my mission. That's my goal. I mean that sincerely. I think that around the entire situation, we ought to ensure that folks are being uplifted who are involved in the equation. I've seen folks speak in rhetoric, like poor rhetoric, involving me, involving Mermaid, involving Dan, involving Santana. People bullying each other,
the Nickelodeon guy that likes feet,
mocking each other, harassing each other. This isn't the way to communicate. Doing live streams where we entertain in front of others and perpetuate this and drag other folks into it. Sure, you need to express these situations because public opinion is important and it makes a movement and it gets work done. But we need to do this in a way where we're not mocking others, where we're not belittling others, where we're not putting others down. Because I've seen a lot of the rhetoric being used and it's so disheartening. And I assume that we all have a shared stance that there's no place in this mission for harassment or bullying.
I love harassment.
Dean, a question. In the event that Z does not have like accountability for her racism, sorry, I'm outside.
No, go for it. I mean, even though there's a little background noise, we can still hear you.
In the event that Z does not apologize for her racism, and considering people have called her out on her account and they said, she said something along the lines of, this is why people call us like the woke left, yada, yada, yada.
Based?
What's, if you don't know this question, like answer this question, that's fine. I don't expect you to. What's going to happen with the tour?
Oh yeah. No, well, we've already determined this. So we've already stepped away from Z. I mean, so earlier we met with all the creators, and the conclusion is either.
I mean, she's 100% right. The Z person is like 1000% correct about everything that she said. This is the problem with the left. Like, yeah, you guys are fucking obnoxious as shit.
She steps down. She's no longer the organizer. She's no longer involved with a pack, or we move on from the pack. That's it. So yeah, that's a simple answer. And that's the unanimous consensus that we've seen. And yeah, that's what I came on live today to share. I also really appreciate you for popping up here and having a conversation with me, Johnny. Is there anything else that you want to add on specifically?
Yeah, I think last part is just, it's important to understand here that
Get the fuck over here.
The creators who are involved are people. I'm a person.
I don't think you
Dean's
are.
a person. We are
I'm not a
people.
person.
Mermaid's a person. Santana's a person. Sam's a person. We are all people. So the way that we really ought to deal with these situations is with more transparency, accountability, speaking through communicative manners that offer real dialogue. And we do so in a way that doesn't mock or harass one another, and we do so in a way that creates...
Or then also don't microaggress anybody, guys. I don't know what that is because nobody's explained it to me yet, but don't do it. It's a bad.
More of a educating environment. Because again, there were a lot of non-informative, a lack of transparency in some situations. There were lies, outright lies,
Transparency.
and a lot of moving pieces, and not a great communicative structure for...
Oh yeah, now that's two. That's Z and Harry. Wow. Oh my lord.
Like how folks were learning about these situations. I don't know. I just...
Oh, you scared me, buddy.
Take it as what it is, folks who are listening in, or don't. Some folks get entertainment out of this, but for a lot of folks, these are parents. These are folks who have 9 to 5 just like you. These are folks who are just trying to do something.
I don't think anybody that works a job is giving a singular fuck about any of this. Just to be clear, this is really big news for the unemployed. That's it. Those are the only people that are like actually watching this. Nobody that works a job is like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. Oh, they closed the door. What the fuck?
But in their community, and there's situations like this along the way, which is a learning opportunity for so many.
Over here,
please treat it as what it is. Let us learn from this. Let all of us learn from this on the tour. And please don't mock or belittle these people or send hate in the way of somebody. Like, try to educate here. Try to educate.
Yeah. Can you guys educate me on microaggression? What is that? What that means? What that means, man? What is a microaggression? What is a Michaelaggression?
I think that we're people. That's true. But I also think that, like the black women who are affected by, like the racist microaggressions used are black people. And then even in a larger conversation of, racism used against black women in America today on the whole are people. And I mean, that's why these conversations are important. That's why I need to do better. But Johnny, I guess I'm going to
do better.
Thanks for having me up.
Some of the things that she had to say.
I guess that was the last thing I wanted to say aside from this, and you can do what you want with your platform. But considering he's the only person until today that has done anything to support the black women that microaggressed and just straight up aggressed, that were microaggressor aggressed toward by Z,
Dude, I got cornered. I just got cornered. I couldn't even dodge out of this. This is cringe.
And also,
I got
speaking
microaggression.
of when one of said women, Emma, tried to talk about her experience in one of the comments of Mermaid's videos, Chris actively told her that, quote, the burden of proof is on her to prove that Z was racist, even though there are already clips and whatnot circulating.
Oh, really? Because I looked them up before. There are no clips, and nobody seems to be able to explain
It's
it.
fucked up, Chris. Anyway, before I leave,
really?
Go to Mermaid's
Really?
page.
Is that
You're
true? Proof? Oh,
see on her page, she posted her debating someone while she was on the tour. Go down into the bottom of the comments. There's going to be a comment thread with like 30 comments in it.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know that. Is the live paused? It's just lagging. Oh. Okay. I'm getting amazing.
Specifically, I think that, like two things can be true at once. I do think that Peyton did a lot of good by specifically like calling out like the microaggressions that he had used against the black women on the panel. However, it's also the case that I have some reservations against him as well. I guess maybe we could like discuss him. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we could have dialogue about the reservations I hold against him and the positions that he holds as well. Maybe that's important.
How about that?
You said like discuss him?
No, discuss them. Like whatever he wants to talk about, as well as like the reservations that I have with him as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, Sam, is there anything else you want to go over?
No, just that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Sam. I hope that you have a good
Thanks,
rest of the
Sam.
day.
Really
Honestly,
appreciate your that whatever that was.
No, just before you leave here, real quick. I don't know if like you or other people watching have been able to tell. This has made me uncomfortable, but I think that's a good thing. In fact, no, fuck, I know that's a good thing. I think that white people need to be uncomfortable a little bit more often. So
Yeah, completely agreed. In fact, if we're
completely agree, white people, just the virtue of their existence, can be super duper uncomfortable all the time.
talking about racism, if a conversation is not making white people uncomfortable, it's not a good conversation.
Hey guys, this does not sound racist at all to me. That's fucking crazy.
That's right. Well, hey, Sam, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, chat. Yeah, what do you guys want me to do? Do you want me to bring up Peyton for a little bit? Maybe have a little bit more dialogue. And by the way, like I want to point out, like the big reason why I'm having like this dialogue is yes, because I want to be able to hold myself accountable and become a better person.
That's crazy.
Always.
Can you tell us how to for another
as well as
time?
just be like super transparent, and I kind of like really value transparency in my platform. My platform is built out of transparency of discussion of people. But like also simultaneously, I want this conversation to flow. I feel like too often, conversation on these matters, it doesn't happen, and then issues are continually perpetuated. People continue to get hurt. I think that these conversations need to happen. But yeah, we'll talk to Peyton for a little bit. I have some reservations with him. I'm not gonna lie. I'll let him up for a little bit, and then I'm gonna hop off.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, bud.
Hey, Peyton. I don't know if you heard me there, but essentially, I think that you've done a lot of really good things.
Why didn't you talk about any of those when you were on live earlier, though?
Peyton, what?
When you were on live earlier. Why not bring that up when you're
on live earlier, like referencing like this live, but when it started, or like talk about what specifically?
All you had to say was negative things about and how you guys were heroes for speaking up about this now. But I'm just super curious why that didn't come up earlier. That I was super cool for speaking out about this.
I mean, I think that if you would like listen to me since I begun the live, I mean, I started this.
I did actually. I've been watching the entire time.
Damn.
Okay, well then I mean, you know that I haven't been having conversations about how I'm a hero.
Actually, you have.
Oh, you have. Are you kidding? He's totally been having conversations about how he's a fucking hero. What are you talking about? That's like the entire conversation is about how much of a hero that he is for changing and educating himself and blah blah blah. That's in the entire conversation. What is he talking about?
Have multiple times, but that's okay. I have a question for you.
Well, Peyton, before we move on, would you be able to like quote like specific instances just so I could better understand what like?
You want me to quote specific instances of you acting like you?
Well, I mean, you guys won't quote specific instances of this girl being racist, so why the fuck should they?
No, like me claiming to be a hero. Because
so every time where you were like, guys, I don't know if you know this, I have a massive platform, and when you're this cool and have a massive platform, you should be the one speaking up about these things. Actually, so I know that if I would have spoken up, I would have had this shit shut down like that. But I didn't, obviously, because I wanted money from the campus and all the views that I would get from Charlie Kirk. But I have a question for you.
Real quick, I want to respond to that. I think that like maybe you misinterpreted my point, and I don't mind reiterating.
Well, no, that's exactly what Dean is. He just wants to appear like he's not fucking virtue signaling. But yeah, this whole thing has been like, guys, we're all people, and I'm educating, I'm learning, and all this other stuff. And you know what? I should have done this, and it's all a performance piece. Like it's very transparent. He's never going to admit that. He's a debate bro. Dean is a debate bro. He has no interest in like what the truth is. He just happens to be left leaning. He's the Charlie Kirk of the right with better gums. Or, excuse me, he's the Charlie Kirk of the left with better gums. That's pretty much it. That's all we got here. So I don't know what else to tell you, but that's pretty much where we at.
creating it. So I started this live off by saying that I think that essentially everybody needs to take accountability for their actions, but like especially people with like more societal influence or power. And like I recognize like myself as an individual with like influence because of the platforms that I run, which I think sets like a very important precedent on myself and other larger creators to like really be critical about themselves and their own actions and be accepting of accountability. I wasn't like trying to like say that I'm a hero. I was more so just trying to like reiterate the sentiment that I feel as if like constructive criticism and conversations about accountability are very important.
Wow, that's
fantastic.
Really good. Fantastic.
I think that's a beautiful sentiment.
Right, but that's a completely different sentiment than like the sentiment that you're describing of saying that like.
Well, yeah, because you're being a performative fuck. Yeah.
I wanted to be a hero.
Oh, that's the vibe that I got earlier, and that what we were all laughing in the room about. But
Would like
I am super curious.
Your vibe changed?
What after the clarification?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's better to get that message out there than anything else. Yeah.
No, it's not changed. What the fuck? Why does this keep moving?
Basically, I'm curious.
Oh, I'm dumb. That's why.
Who was made on? Why was I kicked off the tour? I'm genuinely asking what you were told as to why I was kicked off the tour.
So I wasn't like told anything about specifically why you were kicked off the tour. In fact, I think I was told that you left the tour. But like I guess I'd more so.
You think you were told that he left the tour? That's really confident saying it like that. That's interesting.
Be a question for the organizers, but I don't know if they'll be organizers for too much longer.
I actually have a question about that too.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking shit my pants.
So Parker made it clear in his Discord that she was just going to be stepping away from social media, right? And I'm curious, as the organizer, right? So like National Ground Game, that's her, right? Unfuck America, that's her, right? What moving forward, I guess, if you guys were going to move the Unfuck America tour forward, right? What steps would you guys take to better ensure this doesn't happen in the future?
What's happening?
Okay, well, I mean, first I want to correct you. It's not just merely her stepping away from social media. The hope is that she'll completely step away from the pack, literally leave it. She's
But what if she does?
And then we leave the pack.
And do what exactly?
And figure out how to continue the Unfuck America tour without National Ground.
This isn't where it goes. It goes into here.
I'm just curious why it didn't happen sooner, I guess. I guess it just seems like the timing is a little bit weird, given that my video is about to hit 1 million the day before you post this. You know what I mean? Like it just seems really weird, especially because we did have a dialogue privately. And I will say I'm not going to share those. Obviously, I said I wouldn't share those. Okay?
Yeah, so I mean, I've already kind of talked about like why nothing happened before I went to Texas, and I've pointed out that was obviously very wrong. However, like when I got back from Texas in Colorado, I mean, like essentially from that moment until right now, it has been working with other creators on the tour, having conversations with said creators, and figuring out how to navigate the fact that this is a literal political organization with structure.
Clearly not. It's getting fucking ransacked by randoms on the internet.
Leadership and $100,000 that they've raised off of the engagement that wants to continue the engagement. And what like took a handful of days to get from where we were to where we are now was literally like unionizing the creators to give leverage for demands against the pack of like specifically either having Z resign or making like a promise insofar as where that $100,000 will be spent. I'd say like that was like the biggest like physical limiter insofar as why nothing happened earlier was trying to navigate and deal with the fact that they had $100,000 like sitting in their bank account, and that we just wanted to make sure that that $100,000 is like spent on like, you know, pushing more progressivism in the country. And now, like, I will also say that I should have set more of a precedent on ensuring that things move faster, because I think that for a lot of the time I've spent in like the last 4 or 5 days focused on this, it has been really clouded by anxiety and this idea of like what the fuck do I do? How am I going to achieve my goals of ensuring that either this organizer holds herself accountable and like we see like a genuine sense of her recognizing that what she did was wrong and she's not going to do it again and she's going to actively consciously work on deconstruction, or she's going to be out. And it took us a while to kind of get to where we are now, but I think it could have moved more efficiently. I agree.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it would have been moving more efficiently if you weren't deleting comments referring to my video and people referring to Z as racist in general and those? So like, do you think it would have moved maybe a little bit faster if we were publicly talking about this?
Z, I've never, sorry, not Z, Peyton, I've never deleted a single comment on any of my posts that is a lie. Well, I mean, actually, let me rephrase that, because I think a lie would inquire intent. I don't know if you're intentionally lying, but that is misinformation. It's not true.
I have proof.
Oh my God, that's so fucking, it's just so fucking cringe. Actually, I don't know if it's a lie. I technically, maybe misinformation. Oh my God. This shit is so debate, bro-y. It's like exhausting. Ever talking to this kid would be fucking obnoxious.
If you would like to see it.
I would love to see it, because I haven't deleted a single comment off of any of my videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Proof?
Yeah, it'll...
Does he have the proof? I'm kind of curious. Like, what's happening?
Come up in the video, don't worry.
Can you show it on live?
Why would I do that?
Because there's 9,000 people listening into our conversation and you just made a claim that I've been deleting comments on my videos?
Well, because you have, but like again, I'll show it in my video. It's not a big deal.
Whatever.
Why won't you show it now? If you're going to put it on in a video on your account, I mean, it's obviously you have the intention of going public with it, so why not go public with it now?
Because that's not the time for it.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you, like, without
you got these things
without
from?
you showing the proof? Well, 1 second, Payne. Without you like showing the proof yourself, would you be able to like describe what the proof looks like?
It looks like a comment that was on your profile, that was on your video, that was then not there.
Okay. What is the mechanism of demonstrating that it was posted on the video, it was on the video, and then it disappeared from the video? Like
screenshots.
Okay, so
and multiple people saying that you were deleting their comments. Like, what do you mean?
So I mean, I've like seen comments of people claiming that I've deleted their comments. I mean, I think that there's a couple likelihoods here because I know with certainty I didn't delete anybody's comments. Sometimes TikTok will restrict comments. I mean, you're a large creator. What pops up at the bottom of the comment section? It says see filtered comments. B, the OP could have deleted it themselves. Or C, their comments were just simply lost inside of the comment section.
There's a video. This Peyton, do you know where it is, August?
I mean, I know, like, for instance, when Charlie Kirk had released a video, I commented under it and I said, dude, this makes you look so bad. Obviously, that comment is seemingly not filtered by TikTok because I didn't say anything explosively wrong, but then I went back to the comment section and I thought it was gone. Turns out it was just deeper in the comment section. But I do know at the end of the day, like, I seriously haven't deleted any comments on any of my videos, and I have also seen people in my Discord attest to this. Like, for instance, I think that there was somebody in my Discord that has, been echoing criticisms of myself for quite some time.
Cool.
And of course, like, that's what we're here to discuss. I agree with that. I think it's a good thing. But they did say in the comment section that their comments have never been deleted, as well as like the comments of others. But listen, at the end of the day, I know with certainty that I haven't deleted anybody's comments because I'm me, and I really don't think that like there's any proof of me doing that either because it's not something I've done.
Okay.
I really wish it.
I'm choosing to believe you.
Wait, why would you choose to believe me? You said you had proof.
I do have proof, but you're saying that TikTok could have moderated it. You're right. There's a million different reasons as to why their comments couldn't have showed up.
Oh, this guy seems like an idiot too.
I'm conceding. Is that not what you wanted?
No, that's awesome. I appreciate you for that. Go ahead.
I'm not an actual dick. Like, I'm here to talk too.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
These guys are all fucking weirdos and kind of loserish.
Peyton?
Please.
There's like I guess so. There was one.
Payne had rented a car with the Unfck America tour money, and he was asking to return it, and made it out that the UFAT was a blackmailing him or something. What? That's fucking crazy. This whole thing is ridiculous.
Observation I had with you, and like, by the way, I just want to reiterate the sentiment that two things can be true at once, and I think that you've done a lot of good. Okay, I want to make that one. I want to make that one clear. I believe that nuance is important, and just because you've done one thing that I don't like doesn't mean everything you've done is something I won't like. In fact, there's things that you've done that I'm highly appreciative of. But one thing that you've done that I don't like, that maybe you could address, is the fact that after you posted a video claiming that there was black women that went on the trip that did not have their travel covered, I then DM'd you, and in private, I asked you to please tell me what the names of the black women were so I could take care of it myself. You then like refused to tell me the names of them, and then like started making fun of me, talking about like designer Coach bags, and I didn't really respond to you making fun of me, and then I just asked you again if you could like please tell me the names of the black creators so I could take care of it myself, and then you refused to. And I was just wondering why you'd refuse to, because it was a case that I like genuinely.
Because it's not my place to release their names, and you guys acting as if I did is crazy. People talking about me bringing up people who were affected by this trip, people who should have been paid, who you admitted should have been paid, acting as if it wasn't a big deal is insane.
Acting like what isn't a big deal?
The people on the live who were talking about the fact that they paid their own way, but they were going to get reimbursed. They were going to XYZ.
Hey, I DM'd you in private because I thought it was a big enough deal for me to privately DM you, ask you not to share my DM with anybody, so I could personally turn around and reimburse them. And you said that it wasn't like you didn't have the right to give me their names.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, like.
But you know their names now.
I think this is my reservation, because like the purpose that I'd expect out of like a good faith actor posting the videos in which you have would be like to hopefully like achieve accountability to try.
Because it's accountability from the organization, not from one person trying to.
Would you please allow me a moment to finish without interrupting me?
Okay.
To achieve accountability and like to try to do your part in righting the wrongs. And I mean, like when I DM'd you, asking you like specifically what their names were so I could personally reimburse them, like when you like refused to tell me who they were and you just kind of made fun of me, it kind of felt like, and in that circumstance, like you didn't really care if they were reimbursed or not for
absolutely
the travel they had to go out of pocket for it.
Justice needs to be served from the people who were the ones committing the crimes, not somebody who wants to make themselves feel better.
What do you mean make myself feel better? It was a private conversation.
It was a private conversation where you could feel like a hero for getting the names and reimbursing these people who should have been paid in the first place.
Bro, are you serious, Peyton? Wait, yes. So you're saying that I did something wrong and self-centered?
When the virtue signaler meets another virtue signaler.
And narcissistic by DMing you, asking you to keep our conversation private so I could try to personally reimburse them, and your explanation is because I did that all the.
Yes, because why do you want to keep their stories private, bud?
Ooh, bro, are you? Wait, no, I didn't want to keep their stories private. I wanted to keep the fact that I reimbursed them private.
At that point in time, you hadn't said a single thing publicly about any of this. How could I have trusted you when there were people on the tour lying about me with no repercussions?
Trusted me to do what?
To not just be trying to pay these people off.
What?
Wait, again, I don't know you. You don't know me, right?
Sorry,
if you can like some things about me and like some things about you.
Wait, what do you mean pay them off, Peyton?
Reimbursing them
is a good thing?
Could be considered a payoff if they.
Not really. I mean, realistically, if they were supposed to get reimbursed, that would probably not even be Dean's department on this tour at all. It'd probably be somebody else's thing to do. So it would be him trying to make it right, I guess, if it was true. It's also possible that it's not true and that somebody's just making baseless claims to try to fucking cancel him or whatever. It doesn't. This whole thing is fucking so stupid, honestly.
They are to keep quiet afterwards. Because they've had everything taken care of. So now everything's swept under the rug. Everything's good. We can move on.
Are you joking, Peyton? Yo, dude, are you serious? Wait, so I want to get this clear. You're literally saying that you didn't want them to be reimbursed, so they would continue to feel the impact of not being paid for when the white creators were, so they'd continue to talk about it? That's insane, bro. I'm sorry. That's fucking nuts, Peyton.
Is that what he actually said, or?
A payoff if they are to keep quiet afterwards. Again, I don't know you. You don't know me,
I'm
right?
sorry.
But if you can,
I guess I just
like
don't
some things about me
understand.
and like some things about you, you know what I mean?
What do you mean pay them off, Peyton?
Reimbursing them
is a good thing.
Could be considered a payoff if they are to keep quiet afterwards, because they've had everything taken care of. So now everything's swept under the rug. Everything's good. We can move on.
Are you joking, Peyton? Yo, dude.
He's debate broing it. Okay, this whole thing is so fucking stupid. Holy shit.
Dude, are you serious?
Are you
Wait,
serious
so I
right
want to get this clear.
he found like a moment that he could really like muscle up on, and he feels like strong on. He's like, oh, all right, I gotta make Peyton look like he's virtue. You're all virtue signaling, but that's obviously not the insinuation. He's like, oh, I don't want you to pay them off, which is obviously stupid. But he's trying to disingenuously frame it. But
you're literally saying that you didn't want them to be reimbursed, so they would continue to feel the impact of not being paid for when the white creators were, so they'd continue to talk about it.
Oop, I'm gonna die.
That's insane, bro. I'm sorry. That's fucking nuts, Peyton.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
That is nuts. You're like you want to perpetuate a continual disadvantage.
Bro, watching this guy talk more and more, it's so boring.
Of the black creators compared to the white creators, so like you can continue to talk about that disadvantage. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, Peyton. Please, feel free to
unmute me. Can I talk now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's not true, obviously. Again, I didn't know any of your intentions. I knew you had private conversations, and I knew you had lied about not knowing about that live. So yes, I fucked with you a little bit. And yes, obviously, I wasn't going to give up the names of these people because I didn't know your intentions at the time, and I didn't know, personally, who I could trust on this tour because people were lying about me. So yes, I'm not going to divulge their names, but getting their story out there so that they can tell their story eventually to get reimbursed by the people who fucked them over. Didn't say it was you, right? Is what's important.
Pan, would you feel like now that I've made my intentions clear, like verbalizing their names in a private DM to me so I could still try to take care of it?
Yeah, probably, yeah. If it was okay with them. Like, I'll ask them, but...
Okay.
At the time, you had said nothing out loud about any of this
so you tell me now?
to anyone.
So you tell me now. Okay. All right. Okay, then something else you said there. You said that I lied about not knowing about like what was said and the fact that Z had made racist remarks on the live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the Signal group chat screenshotted. You were at least made aware of what was going on.
Group chat.
Hey, and if you read my
I read the message.
Hey, will you please show me a screenshot of my chats in the Signal chat from that?
Yes, it was you saying that you were at your grandparents. What's going on with Z on this live? In the middle of them explaining what was going on with Z in this live.
So I commented 2 times in the Signal group chat, like specifically saying that I was not there. I was at a dinner with my grandparents. Tell Z to get off this live. I was.
You said what's going on with Z on this live, by the way, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I put my phone in my pocket and ate my food. Okay.
Fantastic. That's great. And then forgot about what was going on, and then tried to push it aside, and then
this guy's always having dinner at his grandparents' house. Like, not to bring it up, but like he popped into my TikTok live one time when I was actually using it. It's fucking cringe, by the way. And he's like, "Oh, there's things I want to talk to you about." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Okay, you want to talk right now?" He's like, "No, I'm at my grandparents' house right now. I'll get back to you later." And then he just never did, which is fine. But these guys always like using his grandparents as a fucking excuse as to like, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm with my grandparents." Okay.
Go to Texas A&M and party with Z after Texas A&M, and then act like you weren't okay with all of this. Like, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, do you want me to kind of reiterate some of the sentiments that I've shared so far in this live as it relates to the fact that I still did go to Texas A&M? The idea that I think that was...
yes, I think you did not care about this. I think you did not care about this until these videos started...
Maybe he just loves his grandparents a lot. Or maybe he just uses them as an excuse all the time.
...to take off and their voices started to get out there. Because you have a personal vendetta against one of them, which is fine. But at the end of the day...
Wait, I'm so sorry. Dude, okay, so you just said I didn't care about this because I had a personal vendetta against
No,
one
not
of them?
just that, but I did say you did have one. And you do have one with one of them, yeah.
Who are you referencing?
You know who I'm referencing, Dean. Like, can we fucking not, dude?
I mean, I don't know if the 10,000 people listening do.
Yeah, but you do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to send her.
We have an audience of 10. Okay, so sure, we don't want to send them an audience. Hey, that's actually fair. That's a good idea because of what I'm about to say. That's fine. So you're referencing one of the women that was involved. Okay, and you're saying that I have a personal vendetta against them. I feel like that's a very unfair way to describe reality.
I said that's one of the reasons.
Will you just allow me to finish?
On a single reason.
Will you allow me to finish?
I gave multiple reasons.
And I will happily address them, but I just want to have a conversation about this one specifically because you're saying that I have an unfair, like a personal vendetta against one of the women. So, I mean, it is the case that one of the women has called for my public execution before.
After what, Dean?
Oh my goodness.
After
80-16 withers, am I right, guys?
A friendship
that's obviously bad. That's obviously bad, guys.
Ended?
Okay.
What do you...
Are you recording?
Oh, what do you mean after what?
I appreciate it.
No, Peyton, what do you mean after what?
Peyton, what do you mean? Peyton!
Dean.
Peyton.
What do you mean after what?
Dean.
What the hell?
Dude, like...
Oh my god.
You've got to be fucking with me, right? Like...
Dude, this is actually...
Peyton, with all due respect, You're the one that just said after what when I said that somebody had personally called for my death. I guess I'm gonna ignore that if you want.
It's not my story to tell, Dean, and you know what the fuck happened, man.
Quite frankly, I have no clue what you mean by saying after what. But here's what I was going to say to begin with. I don't think it's okay to equivocate the fact that yes, like one of those women had said some very like hurtful and harmful things about me in the past, and like that definitely does mean that I do not like that individual. However, I don't think just because I do not like an individual that therefore microaggressions being perpetuated against them are like justified, valid, or therefore okay.
Then again, why not speak out about it?
So I mean,
why allow people to keep silencing these black women until you felt it was appropriate to speak up about it? Whether it be for your fans who you could have easily reimbursed for their plane tickets, whether it be for the pack or the group, why?
So you're saying you should have canceled the event and like paid for all the plane tickets? That's crazy.
Why would
so
anyone?
You did say like that you've been listening since the moment I kind of came on this live stream, and I'm kind of like I've repeated this a couple of times now, and I don't mind going it over again with you, man, especially because that means that there's also a lot of new people that are tuning in. So the reason why I didn't speak up about it loudly before I left for Texas was
because your fans paid for plane tickets and you felt like you'd be letting them down, and I understand. But like you make like $700.
And do you mind if you let me finish for myself without
$700 alive? I feel like you could.
I'm gonna interrupt you now because you interrupted me while I was speaking.
Whoa! Hey, eat the rich, am I right, guys? $700 alive. You better pay for my shit, boy.
So anyways, to finish what I was saying, yeah, it's because I didn't want to let fans down that either had plane tickets or were driving into the event. But like in retrospect, like that is me describing why I did what I did. That isn't me justifying it. And I just like want to continually repeat this. I had a conversation with another creator earlier today, and they kind of made me really recognize why that was a bad thing. What I should have done is I should have...
Guys, I got educated today, and they explained to me why it's a bad. Incredible.
I should have broken the status quo, right? I should have been able to say, like, no, that was wrong, Cutthroat. She either needs to hold herself accountable before I hop on my plane, or she needs to leave the position of being the organizer of the pack before I hop on the plane, or I'm not hopping on the plane, right? That's what I should have done, okay? That is what a mature, mindful person should have done, and I didn't do that, and I fucked up hitting.
Wow,
okay, listen, crazy. I don't care that we just got done having a conversation where I thought you said some crazy shit. I will still tell you that you're right on this point specifically. Okay,
you're a bad guy, but I'll tell you you're right this time, buddy. Learning empathy right now.
You are right. I should have done that, and I did not do that. And I think at the time I was more so thinking like, okay, like she's inevitably going to hold herself accountable, right? Like, or okay. Like this is I'm just one of the creators there. I'm going to talk to Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
And have this progressive movement on campus. Like, okay, like I'm gonna talk to her and I'm gonna convince her that what she did was wrong. I was also scared and anxious, and I don't think that was the correct. Actually, in fact, I know that was a bad response of mine. It's not that I think; it's that I know that was a bad response of mine, and I want to completely acknowledge that to you, as well as to everybody watching.
Cool. Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. You're a cherub of a human being, Dean.
What's that?
Nothing.
Well, I'm so sorry. If you're going to say something, say it with your chest. What did you
said you were a cherub of a human...
Say it 10 toes down. Say it 10 toes down.
Human being?
What does that word mean? I'm sorry. I don't know what cherub means.
That's like a nice little doll.
He doesn't know what the word charitable means? What did he say? Oh, fuck my mom's balls.
Or like a nice person.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm like going to assume that like you don't actually mean that.
I did actually.
Okay.
I think you're half right. I think you realized what you did was wrong. I think you saw that a lot of people agreed that what was going on was wrong. I think you were okay with them silencing these black women's voices until it fit your ability to be the cool guy again and be like, I shut down this tour. I think it's a little gross, man. That's why I met you with hostility last night. And to be fair for everyone here, I did not know for a fact whether or not
I swear to God, I know you're not going to believe me. I know you're not going to believe me, but I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just really trying to be honest. No, I think that is wrong, and I don't think it should happen. And I never think that you should be okay with those actions occurring. And I think that my initial reaction was completely fucking half-assed and I stand by that position, regardless of the amount of eyes that were on it or how it impacted me. In fact, like, I hope that like you believe this too, because I personally reached out to you and I asked you to keep a conversation private when I was trying to like remedy.
And I kept it private. I don't know why you keep saying I asked you to keep a conversation. I kept it private.
And when I was trying to hopefully remedy some of the unjust things that had occurred based upon your claim that some of the black women on the trip weren't paid. But listen, at the same time, I know what you're saying as well. Because when you're saying like, oh, I was okay with it until it personally started impacting me because the videos you made got attention. Well, I feel like I've seen that a billion times where somebody does something wrong and they fuck up and then the only reason they speak out about the fact that they think they did something wrong was because they got called out for it on the internet and it was going to start affecting their livelihood. And I guess that there's no way I could prove to you that that's not what I'm doing.
Yes, you can actually. I have a perfect way.
Okay.
The money that you've made from this tour and the videos on this tour, give it to those creators who were affected by Z or any creators on the tour as well that need to be reimbursed.
So overall, to this point in time, I have net loss income over the tour. But I'm like still okay with having that conversation. I just want to make it incredibly clear that I've net loss income over the tour. But
I'm not forcing him to do this. I'm just saying that's something.
Okay, I wonder if it has. I wonder if it's because of whatever the fuck this virtue signal fest is.
If you want,
this tour was supposed to be like an opportunity for him to kind of reach out and get more people involved with him and watching him, and he completely botched it by completely cum guzzling idiot, like fucking the idiots in his own space. Some dumbasses are bitching and moaning about some dumb bullshit, and he's like sitting here like, okay, we have to take them seriously. No, you don't. And now you've just ruined your opportunity to get like seen by more mainstream like individuals.
Could have a follow-up conversation about that, because I mean, I still don't.
Anybody who's looking at this is just like laughing at you at this point.
Mind having that conversation. I think that's a good thing to do. I think that's a great idea. If you want to talk further about that, that's something we could do.
Cool.
Fantastic. I have a couple more ideas that I think you could be doing better with your platform.
Cool.
Okay. I do see that there.
In terms of platforming voices,
I do see that there's somebody else on the tour, Simple Black Theory, that has been requesting to come up on the live and specifically talk to you. Is it okay if I bring them up, Peyton?
I can't talk to Haji in public yet. I have to talk to him personally.
Okay, so you'd prefer to talk to him personally?
You can bring him up though.
Okay, it's up to you.
I said I have to go anyway.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about more stuff. Oh wait, I actually have to go.
Well, he's been requesting to come up. I just want to make sure that it's okay with you, because you did, of course, come up here for a one-on-one conversation. I just want to ensure that that is okay with you if I add him. I don't want to
if he's come. Yes, I want you.
Jesus Christ, these people are so pathetic. I just want to make sure it's okay with you. Just be like, hey, this other guy's talking. I'm going to bring him up. This guys are everything is. They walk on fucking eggshells with these people.
I want you to add him, but I have to go because I have to talk to him personally.
Okay, well, I mean, if you have to go, then it may be better just to like not add him, because like I'm just gonna be obvious. Like obviously, what's gonna happen is like a conversation is gonna begin between you and Simple Black Theory, and it'll likely like keep you on the live longer than.
I will not be speaking with Ohaji. I'm sorry, Ohaji. There's just a lot more stuff that we still got to talk about, like interpersonally, that I can't. But I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to stay here and listen.
That's fair. Here's what I want to say. There was at least 10 plus Black creators that came on that tour that were actually there in Texas A&M, and I can sit here and say that I promise that you didn't talk to all 10, if not half of those creators.
Okay. I talked to 3 creators. Yes,
3 out of 10, and one of which was me. And I told you should have spoken to all of them. I even took the time to explain to you that the situation I had is a lot deeper. And in that message, you told me that the people that you were protecting, you didn't even know. So to sit here and to hear all these things, I feel like it's totally unfair. And when we have this discussion, you're gonna get a real mouthful, because what you did was so unfair. You not only did you put an idea amongst me, but other Black creators. There's Black creators that were on this trip that now has to protect their ideas because they were seen as
protect their ideas,
as they didn't want to protect themselves. That they didn't seem less than. We were called DEI hires because of your video, and I feel like that was so unfair.
Wow, sad stuff, brother.
Because you took the time to talk about the Black creators there, but didn't take the time to talk to all of us.
May I respond?
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair at all to put on me in a video where I am simply calling out the behavior of one individual on the tour, where I multiple times say, I have an issue with a singular individual. This does not reflect the Unfck America tour. I have an issue with one person who did this thing last night that was horrible.
And I had no
At the end of that video, I then said, my opinions are my opinions alone. Any creators that are going on this tour, I have nothing to do with them. I'm friends with a lot of them. I hope they have a great time. I'm going to be like literally like.
Yes, but look, I didn't disagree with that video. I even said, listen, I didn't think you said anything crazy in that video. And then you made that second video, and I wasn't even notified. That second video was with the real problem that I have. Was that second video? That second video put the understanding as if these Black creators was treated as such. While you did not know in the background that these Black creators was working on stuff, was actually trying to remedy certain stuff, but it couldn't be remedied because we have someone out here trying to expose
remedy what
stuff without having the full things. If I asked you who are the 3 people that you were talking to, are you able to give me those 3 creators?
Yes.
Who are they? Personally? Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But currently, right now, Z is trying to find who else was giving me information, and I just can't get that up here.
That's fair. I just felt like, honestly, I honestly felt like what you did was exactly what you're adamant about, and it's the white savior complex. Honestly, I wanted to talk to you in a deeper understanding of this, was because I even came here and sat there, that the people in that panel had every right to say the things that they wanted to say, and Z was wrong. Cool. But at the same time, the people that were in that panel had some malicious intent. They said some things that were wrong. They inflated some things that were unfair and made us feel like garbage.
Absolutely. And again, I am not talking about those. I need to reiterate this for everyone here.
I just don't understand, because this guy, whoever this creator is, he probably completely exists because of white saviorism. Like, he doesn't seem like, I mean, I don't know, this entire thing is so stupid and boring. Seems like his entire kind of like career exists because of like white saviorism and white people desperately trying to, you know, be seen as virtuous. So
I am not here defending anything those Black women said on that live.
But you're protecting them.
I'm not protecting them.
That's what you said.
Okay, standing up against racism, Ohaji, is not the same thing as protecting a bad person. She was being racist towards them, and I called out this person I was professionally linked to for doing that. That is it. And yes, I found out that they were treating black creators differently on this trip. And regardless, that's not okay. Searching to find a way back is not okay. It should have happened from the beginning, especially because flights were getting booked 3 fucking days before. 3 days. Flights and hotels booked 3 days before.
I will say this. Like I've been on like a couple things like related to like boots on the ground in politics, and like I'd say that's like the industry norm. I think it's probably a bad industry norm that needs to be changed insofar as like booking flights, booking return flights. But that did apply to like everybody.
What the fuck do I care about any of this? So you're telling me a bunch of creators went to an event and they had to book themselves home? Who the fuck cares? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is a major complaint that people that they had to book themselves home. You don't want to be a creator on the fucking event. Book yourself home. Oh no, what a fucking tragedy.
Everybody on the trip. Like for instance, like I don't think that my return flight was booked until like 2 days prior, 3 days prior. Yeah, that's
yes, but I know personally of a person, like the person who was giving me a bunch of this stuff, booked on Sunday, the Sunday before that Wednesday that you guys were at A&M, booked on Sunday, and then told that flight was canceled, I guess, or XYZ or whatever, and then the flight actually wasn't canceled, but it doesn't matter. They was booked on Sunday. So there
what does this matter? Who fucking cares?
Still booking flights and things for people who were involved with the tour on that day. Booking. I have the messages showing, hey, are you guys still gonna book my flight today? Yeah, okay, cool, because I gotta get to it today.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like the call for there is like probably like better management from like this pack and all packs.
Cool.
I don't know. I feel
it seems like some of the dumbest complaints ever. Oh, you didn't book people's flights. They're fucking adults. You're a creator. You can get yourself to and from the event.
I just feel like I've seen that. I see that a lot.
But that's the whole point. I feel like it's a little weird when you see that a lot, but it didn't happen for me. I was added late in the game. You know,
you didn't get a flight, Peyton. You had a car.
Yeah, they were booking me a flight, and then I asked them to get me a rental car, and then I asked them 2 days later to book it for 14 days instead of 3.
What's that?
Did you hear it?
14 days instead of 3. Hey, listen, in summation, I think that like there's often times where flights will get booked late. I think that once again I got my return flight booked 2 days.
These black creators didn't get their flights booked at all. The thing is who's saying? I can sit here and say that the black creators is actually in the background talking about certain situations and how to make it better for the next thing. We didn't have to have a white creator step up here and try to talk for the black creators. I had no problem with the situation because I knew it was going to get fixed with the people I was talking with. So again, I just find it weird that I have a white man sitting here explaining to me that I need to be treated better, as if I didn't know that, as if I couldn't handle it myself. I never said you couldn't. Okay, but you didn't. I never know said that, I was even though. speaking about But you didn't know that though. You, instead of coming to talk to people about it, you did it on your own. You're Batman. You're Batman for the black community.
All right, black man. Cool.
The only thing I did in that video was present facts, and you guys are pissed about it for some reason. Again, I'm sorry that this did affect the tour. I'm sorry that I didn't come to you. I'm sorry I did not come to you. The black creators. Coming to me. I said the black creators on the tour is my man. No, name me 5 creators that was on this trip. Name me 5 of them. Name at least 3. Except for
Consciously, Americana Hannah, that fucking Dan.
Consciously not a part of the tour. Consciously not a part of the tour.
Fucking going, Erica.
Consciously not a part of the tour.
Say again?
Consciously not part of the tour. You don't know nothing about Santanas talking about how much he's struggling through this shit. A mermaid, Erica, me, Chris. All these.
It's not my fault. She was racist, dog.
Can I say something? Hey, real quick. Can I say something? So Peyton, I think that you're not understanding the point that is our problem, right? So you're saying that there were black creators that didn't get their flights until the 3 days before. There were black creators that you feel like weren't treated correctly. What does that have to do with you?
So I'm not understanding. If he does speak out about it, he's bad. If he doesn't speak out about it, he's bad. A lot of rules here, baby.
And also, why do you keep coming up? No. Your second video, you started out the video. Please stop talking over me. Hey, please stop talking over me.
Did you just ask him a question?
Second video was a video when you were going on there. You were talking about how black creators weren't being treated the same way. You were talking about how black creators didn't get flights and had to pay for everything. But you did not have a conversation with any of those black creators to give that actual information. You're just going off of whatever it is that you felt like. And then you wanted to come online when you, at this point, were not even a part of the tour anymore because you left. I wish you would stop saying that you got kicked out.
I did not leave. I got kicked off.
In your first video, you said yourself that
I'm
you
going to Texas
wanted
A&M
to leave.
and invite all of your black friends.
You said yourself that you did not want to be a part of this tour anymore, Peyton.
If she was a part of the tour, yes.
Okay, so then did you get kicked off or did you leave?
Yes, they called me. It's in my video. They called me.
So you made the video first and then they told you that you were getting kicked off because you made a video where you said that you did not want to go, right? Okay.
Peyton, stop interrupting, bro. Stop interrupting.
Stop interrupting. Stop speaking over a black person. It's actually a microaggression.
It's very annoying. Like, the thing about it is, at the end of the day, nobody needs you. I especially, and I'm pretty sure the other black people on this tour, we did not need you to speak up for us because I am loud enough on my fucking own.
If I agree with you, does that make me racist?
I don't need you to say, oh, the Black creators didn't get what they were supposed to. Oh, the Black creators weren't treated that way because you did not talk to the Black creators.
Yikes.
You talked to the few that you wanted to, and then you went and made your own narrative about it, and you were so happy that your video made 1 million views. Nobody over here on this side actually cares about views. We care about the mission that we had. You came up here and spoke
Guys, we don't care about views. Wow. Is that why you wanted to do a big tour?
about your 1 million views to me. That's
I
not the
said 1
problem. The
million
problem is, hey,
views is
shut up,
what
stop
made
speaking
him.
over me. The problem is, stop trying to speak for Black creators when you do not know what is actually going on with the Black creators. That's it, and that's simple. What Ohazi said as you being a white savior is exactly what it is. And nobody over here, I don't ever need a savior because I'm gonna always be the problem. Okay?
Is that like a good thing to say, or I don't know, understand?
In this society, I don't ever need a savior because I will always be the problem. Okay? So I need
Is that like a good thing to say? I don't know. Why would she say this?
for you, that's all I need for you to do is to stop speaking for Black creators if you did not at least have the decency to have a conversation with us. That's just it.
Can I speak now?
Yes.
Fantastic.
You're gonna jump.
I
Fuck
was
you.
approached to make those videos by Black creators who did not feel their voices were getting heard.
Well, then who? Because I haven't heard that from any of them.
The creators on those lives, and again, I will tell you who. After
So then you're talking about the people on the lives, and I understand they are allowed to express their opinions. I am talking about the people who you went on your second video and said weren't getting treated the right way that were on the tour. Stay on topic.
Okay.
I guess I'm confused. Wait, what?
Okay, Dean, I think I've said enough.
Actually,
hope you have a
I did
wonderful-
not catch what I did wrong. I'm sorry. Just please.
Okay, then you may never get it.
So like Paige, in a nutshell, like I believe what Mermaid is essentially saying is you went on to like make a second video like predicated on the experience of the Black creators on the trip, right?
Yes, make sure you explain. Thank you, White Spaver. Make sure you explain. What?
And you did so.
I actually think that's wrong.
Paige, will you just allow me?
No, because that's wrong. I made the video, right? And I know me, right? That's what you said
You made
earlier,
a video about trip insofar as some not being covered for their travel or like they complain being booked late. That was the premise of the video, but I would like to clarify, right? Essentially all that she's saying, right, is that you made a video, right, about the experiences of Black creators on the trip without asking the Black creators on their trip for their experiences.
Oh man, she fucked it up.
Do you get it now?
Oh, can I talk now? Sorry, I didn't know you muted me. Yes,
I
that
muted
wasn't
you
the point of the
because you
video.
were
That's a 2-minute snippet of that 15-minute video where I'm talking about the behavior of the people on the tour and how they treated me. And yes, I did add in the section because while I was making the video, I was reached out to. I did add in the section about the creators who were not properly paid for this trip as I was. But the video was about my treatment from the unprofessional people within the organization, not just Z, Brandon, and other creators who were lying blatantly to try to cover Z's ass.
Cool.
So is your argument essentially that you didn't talk about the Black creators' experiences without asking them?
No, I said it was added
that it doesn't
in.
really matter.
I said it was.
I mean, because listen, man. The point of the space that I'm hosting right now is like just simply for transparent discussion. Okay, that's why I brought you up here, and that's why I had a conversation with you, and now that's why Mermaid is up here right now as well, because I want to make sure that Mermaid has the ability to say what she wants to say. But I don't really think that you're responding to what Mermaid is saying.
I just did. I was reached out to while I was editing that video. While we were making that video, I was reached out to, and I had to add that section because I was reached out to about it anonymously. Anonymously means I cannot give up their names, guys. I'm very sorry. That's just how it fucking works. Okay. But there are people who feel antagonized against on this tour by Z, which again I have screenshots. I can prove it if you want.
But like, I guess like do you like the bare minimum like understand the perspective of?
Oh, I absolutely understand the perspective. I think it's obtuse
one second. You think it's obtuse for Mermaid to just simply request that before you tokenize her in a video, you talk to her first?
I didn't tokenize her. I wasn't speaking about her. Again,
I'm not gonna
What
lie,
was
man.
you speaking about? So there was about 10 Black creators that were on the tour. Me, Erica, Becca were the 3 Black women, and there was about seven Black men that were on the tour. Who were you speaking about? Because I've had a conversation with all of them. We've all talked, and we haven't talked with you because you have not been on the tour since you made your video stating that you wanted to leave.
Again,
So
I think
who
you have to
did
rewatch the video because I didn't. Like, I was still on the tour until I got called and kicked off for calling someone racist.
Did you not, in your video, did you not say that, yeah, you were going to Texas, but you're not going to be a part of the tour. You're not going to be a part of anything that has to do with the tour. And if people want to come out and see
Until
you,
they got this racist out because I thought it would take 2 fucking seconds for Dean Withers to
So
be like,
don't you
"Hey,
think that
racist
after
behavior
that,
happened."
so don't you think that after you already making a video as to what you were saying that you do not want to be a part of the tour, then you would be a part of the tour? That
I
you would be a
assumed
part of
she
the
would be kicked off, yeah. So I apologize for that, yes. But you can tell by the phone call, Brandon called me to kick me off the tour. Why? I don't see why this is like such a big, like, you guys did not.
Listen, I just want to.
we're not cutting people off.
I can't wait for this to be over. Holy fuck.
I know. I just want to add another comment here real quick.
You know what? Go ahead, for sure.
I just got a little upset there because you said that Mermaid was being obtuse, right? And I demonstrated my upsetness. I just wanted to apologize real quick.
Wow, he has to make sure. Oh, thank you, Dean, for sticking up for Mermaid. Incredible stuff.
Okay, man.
Why are you laughing?
This is the fucking white saviorism that he engages in. Like, obviously, like, that's what I'm talking about. But she, like, this is the only way that she gets attention is from, like, white saviors. This is her entire platform. So they don't. That's why it's like, why are you laughing? Because this is ridiculous.
That's just like an insane, like. Anyway,
I don't like nervous laughter.
It's not nervous, but I appreciate you.
Okay. So can you apologize for speaking for the Black people on the tour without speaking to the Black people on the tour?
I spoke to Black people on the tour, but if you felt like I was mentioning you, because obviously I didn't mention any names, I am sorry. I did not. I would never want to make it seem like I was speaking for Black people who could not speak for themselves.
I mean, I'd like to like add in here, I guess, real quick, as it relates to like this topic specifically. I'm unaware, right, of any Black creator that was brought along on the tour that had to pay their own way.
That's phenomenal, Dean. You wouldn't be. You're not the organizer, right? That's why you reached out to me.
So that's why I reached out to you, and then you didn't tell me. So then I reached out.
There's probably a reason why they're not telling you, bud.
I don't think that you understand what's actually been happening within. So that's why we kind of don't understand why you have so much of a say-so, because you don't really know.
Listen, at the end of the day, here's the facts. I'll be in, that's all.
Okay.
And I feel like you've been fighting me pretty hard in making that discovery. You know,
I actually told you that I would DM you privately so that you could reimburse them, didn't I? Earlier in the live.
Okay. Is it possible that you may do that when you leave? Because that'd be great. That'd be great.
I thought that's what we already talked about.
Cool. I would really appreciate it if you do that, Peyton. Mermaid, is there anything else that you'd like to go over?
No, Dean, thank you so much for letting me come up and use my voice. Thank you to everybody who gifted me. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Sunday. That was it for me. Thank you.
I appreciate you for joining, Mermaid. And Peyton, that was definitely a conversation. A conversation. I'm now going to remove you from the live. Maybe like one last thing before I do remove you from the live is, I don't want that very important conversation that was just held in this space to like detract from the fact that I seriously do think I engaged in actions that were wrong, and I wish I would have done better for the reasons that I've already listed, and I promise to do better in the future for the viewership, specifically as it would relate to my apologies to specifically members of the BIPOC community. Now, everybody, I guess I'm gonna go to an end for the day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. If
Great. This is so fucking annoying. Holy fuck.
If you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to throw them in my Discord. I really do think that transparent conversation is really important. It makes myself become a better person. I think that constructive criticism is always and will always be welcome with very open arms. And even in situations where I'm uncomfortable. In fact, it should be the most present in situations where I'm uncomfortable. Okay, because if I'm uncomfortable, that's when like the real conversations are being held. But Peyton, please do DM me the information about the creators that had to pay their own way. I was serious when I texted you.
Yeah, I'm not watching Peyton's video. This is incredibly boring. This is actual fucking brain rot. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. They're all losers, every single one of them. This is childish. This is pathetic. This is stupid. I don't want to engage in any more of this than I have to. This is so fucking dumb. It's so fucking stupid. These people are fucking losers. And that's it.